We're doing it. We're doing it. Good evening, one and all. It is your friend and mine, Mr. Shmuel Buckman. I need to be a friend to myself. So what's going on? I see. I had my friend Stealth complaining even before the show got started. Standard stuff. How you doing, Stealth? Um, we could certainly send Stealth a link. That would be cool, as long as he doesn't try to manage the chat. Oh yeah, Sam Bibley. Shmuel time. So it's Saturday night, and for the regular viewers, you'll know that on Saturday nights we just sit in the backyard and talk shit and invite some people. Tonight I invited a bunch, so much so that I used the group message feature on X to send out the link to folks. And of course, there's the please remove me, which is actually fine. But I do like the, well, if he wants me on, he can send me an individual link. It's a Saturday night. We're just talking shit. It's not that big of a deal. And uh, Yes, Frank. Good work figuring that one out there, kid. I was hoping people were gonna get it. Uh, so let it be known, I actually planned on going a little early tonight. I got all set up in my backyard, and at 10:55, it started to rain. It's not a lot, just a drizzle, even though there's none in the forecast. So I had to go get myself the umbrella, pull it out of the table, and put it up over here. So that was pretty funny. Wedding cake. Is he non-wording? I always non-word. I make them up as I go. One of them like senior privileges that you get. So Noga, Noga, Noga. Cigarette Jones is here, as always, keeping us safe from the trolls. And as we start off, we have a whopping 13 people in YouTube. I won't tell you how many there is on X because we know that's bullshit. And we're back to using just using the webcam on my laptop because I couldn't get around to setting up the camera and all that stuff. Whoa, drop the phone. Mrs. Buckman. So, one of the things about when you live by the beach is that you have guests every weekend. And normally they stay over, and these guys didn't, which is always funny because it's the ones that I like the most that don't stay over. Pops is smoking a blunt. No, they're actual tobacco. Sorry, bud. These are Drew Estates cigarillo sweets, I think. Yeah, they are sweet. Taste them. And tell this old man to pay his own bills, Cigarette Jones. Hey, man, if there's one thing I do, it's pay my bills. I can tell you that right now. So, what's going back? Oh, I got it. I got it. So we've got whatever. What's it? What is it? Grootmeester? Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Um, Sam Bibley. I can't stand that guy, David. Oh man, we're gonna get into him in a little bit, but yeah, I can't stand him either. Skarika, addicted to profits. God, what a fucking pussy he is. Let's move this back a little bit. I was trying to light it up a little bit so you could see the hot tub behind me, but I don't know because I don't really want to. Ooh, that's a bad thing for you guys. I don't know. Maybe we can't see it. It's all right. Um, uh, yeah, Skarika. So I don't know how far back you guys go with him, but he goes back to Brennan and Melton when Melton was on Mondays, and he's one giant pussy, like an unbelievable pussy. So, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I just want to kind of get warmed up here. At Sam Bibley, where's the crumb bum? I don't know that Sam is probably the person to direct that question to, but Crumb will be here. Everybody shows up at some point on a Saturday night, and we're going to leave X pretty soon and just stream live on YouTube. But I'm usually go by 15 minutes. I feel like I've been here 15 minutes already, but I've only been on for like 7. So there we go. All right, I'm going to sip. I got ice. If it makes noise, I apologize. And no one tell my wife that I'm sitting in the backyard drinking uh, Red Bull and smoking cigars. She knows about the cigars. That we've come to some peace with, but she found out I was drinking Red Bull at 11 o'clock at night. life would be problematic. But here we are. And I got long cord. Um, so in any event, the weird thing, it's funny with Evmux, I can't hear myself talk. It doesn't come through my headphones um, until a guest comes on. And it's really weird because I know that it's working because I can test it. And God, I may have to do a stuttering John tonight and wipe my nose with my shirt. Um, but there we are. Uh, I wanted to try and see if this came across here, huh? Let me know.
Shut up, Smeal. Shut up, Smeal.
Did that come out? Were you all able to hear that? And sorry, I got two computers because on the notebook it's too hard to, with the one screen, just be able to follow the super tips. Um, so yeah, that's the story. I'm here. It's Saturday night. God, what a beautiful day it was, and what a beautiful night. I had a great time. I was up north in the beautiful city of Hoboken, and then came down here to Asbury, and that's pretty neat. And I enjoyed the shit out of it. And Teamster Tim stopped by yesterday to bring me some stuff, and yeah, I know you guys can't see this, but he brought me an official. Let me try to do it this way. If that works. Whoa. I don't know. You capable of seeing that? Um, Johnny Carson had lighters made up, cutting shit up. Johnny does a 5 a.m. stream, and I think he goes live at 5 on Saturdays. But that was very cool. I did not go to the Haskell last week, but Johnny, Johnny gave Tim a lighter. Tim gave it to me, and Tim also brought me hats. Um, so it was very cool. Actually, last night I was wearing, or the night before, I was wearing a hat, and one of the people who had attended was like, "Hey, where did you get that hat?" And are those lighters huffable? Stealth Chaos is asking. Um, I don't really know what a huffable lighter is, but I will tell you that this one uh, is like so safety filled, it barely lights a cigar. So it's your classic Bic. And then let's Stealth Chaos the Legend. Cigarette Jones really likes stealth. And tonight may be the night we send Stealth a link, but probably one of my favorite parts of doing Mirror Musk on Thursday was watching Stealth do his exercises or whatever it was he was doing. I think it might have been some meditation to be able to put up with the bullshit that was going on screen. And then I guess you just eventually bailed. Stealth, was that what happened? Because you definitely did disappear. So hole broken. Well, I'm hoping that's what Karmic's doing this weekend. Is he still with Felicia? Is that still going on? All right. So I should have copied it so I could put it up on screen, but um, I wanted it. I think this is, to me, it was pretty funny. Um, I sent out the list for, actually, let's just see if I can copy it. I can. So I'm just going to copy it. I'll paste it into the chat. So I sent out the link to the show to a bunch of people, and instead of doing it individually, I did it on a group chat on X. And it's funny to me because I got the please remove me from this group, which is interesting because I think you can remove yourself. But no big deal. But I'm laughing because Little Lemmy is on that list as well, and Little Lemmy is making quite humorous comments on it. But then we get this message, and I'm going to put up the message, and then you tell me if you can guess who it came from. I don't know why I'm move that way. Um, let's see. So, who do you think in the Dabbleverse would send that message? Or who doesn't want to be in the Dabbleverse but is in the Dabbleverse and makes all their super tips off people in the Dabbleverse? Tell me, tell me, tell me. And while you do that, we're going to be put up another little post here that says leaving X soon. This is what I need I need a producer or somebody to help me with doing that because it must be very frustrating to listen to me talk to my computer while we're doing it. And I do wish the sound of Evmux would play in my ear, but it would make my life more interesting. So somebody wanted this guy on, and they've been begging and begging and begging that he pop on, and they're only going to be here if he was here. And so I will because I am that guy. Um, bring on my friend, Mr. Crumbum. Hey, Crumb, how are you? I'm using Evmux. I started using it a while ago. So every time I hear, when I bring somebody on, I'm always there's a tiny little prayer that goes on that says, "Please let me be able to hear them."
Yeah,
Because
I've only used this with Pat Dixon when was on his show one time, and it didn't work really well with me. So, do I sound okay?
yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay.
It sounds great, and it's actually I don't want to necessarily say it's easier to use than than StreamYard, but it's certainly more flexible. And I haven't had any issues with the super tips,
Nice.
which I can remind people to not because I don't get that many, but you uh, let's see. Let I would it'd be great if we could do a little super tipping to supertip.gg/Buckman. Um, I would appreciate that, and it would help cover expenses. I had my first. I asked a guest to come on, not tonight, but I asked somebody um, to guest to come on and do a show with me, and it's the first person that will only do it if I pay them.
You gonna name names?
No, and I'm supposed to, but people get mad at me because I don't, because I'm not going to name names because I haven't had a chance to get back to them yet and let them know that that wasn't going to happen. Um,
What was their
but
price?
they wanted 50,
$50. Damn.
50, yeah, 50, and I thought about it, and yeah, I don't want to get into the paying people to come on stuff,
No, no,
and
that seems silly. That's
well, especially considering the investment that I've had to make in doing this. Evmux is like $50 a month. I got internet, you got all that other stuff. So it's not like, I'm doing this for free. And I don't think, and it's not like somebody's going to bring me hundreds, if somebody had, I don't know, a show where they regularly did 2 or 3 thousand people, I might. But all
yeah,
the people that I've had on that can pull 1,000 or 1,200, they never ask. And
yeah.
so
I mean, I get why Brennan does it. He makes good money, and it's a nice thing to pay people to do your show. If you can, you would, but you're not. That's not like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know. It depends, man. I would. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I would. I don't know that I want to. Look, someday I'd like to be in a position where it's I can just decide it. Um,
Yeah, no, it'd be nice, but it's not like, I mean, oh, I'll come on if you pay me.
right, because it's like, and again, like if it's a special thing, that would be one thing. Or if it was somebody that really drew, it would it would at least I might think about it. But
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised. But what can I tell you?
Well, tell me off air who it was
Hmm.
at some point, if you
I'm
do.
sure. Look, I'm sure everybody will figure it out at some point. So
It was Karmix.
I put up. Nah, he won't even. He's afraid of me. He's like he won't even. It's so weird. He um he won't even talk to me.
He's
Uh,
balls deep in Gilly right now, so he's busy.
oh man, that's like such a disaster. I see her taking such advantage of that kid, you know. But
It was an
maybe I'm wrong.
awkward interaction between them. The clips that I saw on Twitter today, like he was talking to her but not looking at her. It's very weird.
I was watching it, some of it yesterday. I think they were clips, or it was a replay or something. But sorry, I'm looking for a lighter. They and I know I have one in my hand, people, but this is not a cigar lighter. But uh, he seemed very nervous, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and you know,
It was high school fucking first date vibes for sure.
it definitely was. Excuse me, people. I'm turning.
Yep.
Uh, well, cigar cutter, no cigar lighter, and I could have sworn I brought it out with me.
I mean,
But
good
go
for the
ahead.
dude. Hopefully he's having fun. He's on his vacation. That's good for him. You need that in life.
No, you do. I just wish he was with somebody who's less crazy than Felicia, you know. But
Yeah.
because I find it hard to believe that somebody isn't funding this and that she's not just getting this for content, you know. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know her much. I just know her presence on MLC and the little I've seen. And do you think that's what she's doing? She's trying to like get some clicks from that interaction. That's
yeah, and look, it's interesting to MLC viewers, right? Because they've been trying to get this for a while. There's rumors that Karmic is gay, so then we'll find out. She'll let us know about that. But based upon her interactions with Pat, I would think she's going to talk about she'll talk about everything. It doesn't seem like she has anything private.
yeah. It's funny. I saw. I forget who it was. There's a podcast. It's not even really Dabbleverse related, but they have her on tonight. I don't know if it's a pre-tape or not, but it was just funny to me to see that she's making her rounds.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if
Corn Fed. That was the podcast.
here's the um oh, not corn fed out, not our corn, right?
No, 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 no. Yeah, it's a dude, Dave, and some other dude.
Hey, so did I send you an individual link or did I have you in the group?
It was just individual on
Individual?
Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I sent out a group link and this was a reply. I'm just going to put it in the chat again from one of the people and I'd like you to take a guess at who that is. And it says, "I like everyone here, but I'm going to exit. I don't need Dabbleverse news."
Hmm.
I mean, who do you know that who do you know that
Yeah, I don't know.
denies they're a member of the Dabbleverse?
I would. I don't. I
Come
have
on.
no clue. I'm lost.
Oh, look at that. The fucking lighter's been sitting in my lap. It is one Ray DeVito.
Oh, DeVito. I should have guessed. I was gonna
And
guess DeVito or Chad.
I thought it was really funny. Well, I wouldn't send Chad a link. And I've been warned having Chad's moderator on here, but that's
Yeah,
the
I might get you.
oh, I'm hearing I thought I heard the sound from Jaws, but it's a motorcycle out in the backyard. All right, let's see. Chris Mack. She legit signed him up to an open mic last night, knowing he's never done stand-up comedy, and she filmed it. She set him up to be emasculated on their first date, and she has footage of it to grift off. Wow. But
That's crazy.
it would be look, I mean, he's an adult, right? I mean, he's a 41-year-old guy. So if he doesn't want to do it, he could just say, I don't want to do it, right? He's not like being forced into it. And it
Has,
would be funny to see what he does, but it would have been nice for him to have had some time to prep it.
has he ever done stand up? Does he do that? No.
As far as I know, no.
Yeah. Oh, I digress. Oh, guys. I mean, what
And
does he got?
I guess the topic is extreme sports, and I don't picture him as much of a sports guy,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
unless
especially
it's
not extreme sports,
yeah. I got
which
it.
would be like what? Like skateboarding, inline skating, fucking BMX.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't see him as that kind of guy. He's more like
I,
a NBA or WNBA or
mhm.
football.
Affy, she's not going to bang him. She thinks he's a punk. Um, yeah, well, we don't know how far she'll go for content, right? Um,
Yeah, I
so,
mean, she'll crash a car for it.
right, maybe they'll get enough alcohol in them to that something will happen. But it definitely seems like a case of blue balls going to be happening in Minnesota. Stealth Chaos says, Guru, Clowntown upcoming. Buy drinks, snacks, and gather the family around. Yeah, Big W and I have talked about that, and I call this the Clowntown pre-show. And and Sam Bibley, funny. Crumb is coming to us from inside the Kool-Aid Man. Yeah,
Oh,
he is.
yeah.
Oh yeah, come through the walls.
Yeah, I can change the color if you'd rather have like blue raspberry flavor.
I'm perfectly happy with whatever you have. What is that setup?
Yeah, it's just some LED lights.
I was
It's
watching
bad.
Melton last night, and he was making fun of the guys with like the rotating lights.
Yeah,
the lights that change during their
I
stream.
could.
And
Yeah,
it's
I could
go
do
ahead.
that.
No, it's all right, but
It
it's
fucks with
funny
the
because
camera though. It when you do like that, the camera's always trying to focus to each color.
exactly, and that's what
Yeah.
he was saying.
Yeah.
And but I do laugh because I noticed that studios, like one person will do something like new with their studio, and then five other guys will their studio then becomes similar to that first one.
Yep.
You know, like they're
Yep.
like they're trying to do it. Stealth Guru Run wants you to get him unbanned from Clowntown. Um, and I don't know which vagina wrinkle this is because apparently there's a bunch of them. And Guru One is here.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a
Panhandle.
link to Clowntown for months. They never sent it to me.
Really?
So, yeah,
They talk about you though, right?
I don't know. Not much. Not much. They're it's not like I'm not a big topic conversation there. Actually, no. Dexter sent me one the other day, but I was busy watching Big Brother.
I- God bless you. I don't know how you could do that. Panhandler, J Mo again.
Yeah. It's my cousin
So
Jay.
speaking of which, Jay was in the group, but it said cannot send, couldn't send it to him, and he is a follower of mine. So
Let's try to get him on. I'll send him a link.
that's all right. Let's not do it now. Like, make me crazy. Last time we did that, I wound up being on here for 3 hours. Chris Mack, Ray. Well, that was if you're referring to my post from earlier, yeah, Ray, Mr. Ray. Um, I feel like Ray does whatever. It's almost like if there's a oh, they're trying to tell me to send Ray the link. I did. He turned it down. Um,
Yeah,
he doesn't.
he doesn't want to do a show that's not his show or like on his terms, or he's got to be on a weird
Well,
10:45 punks.
he's also mad. He's mad at me. Um,
No way.
I've been talking to him about doing something for. It's got to be since last August. So was that almost a year? And he finally put it together Thursday, and since Thursday, he's been hounding me to review his work. And I'm like, I don't have time. I'll do it Sunday night. And it's just like, oh man. And I'm like, it-
What kind
when I
of work does he
when
want
it
you to
just
review? Like a stand-up bit or something?
he wrote some stuff and
Uh,
just some writing he wanted me to look at, but something he was working on, and I just had to laugh. But it's so typical of Ray. But what was really funny was Thursday night. Um, he knew that I was going on Mere Musk, and we were going to simulcast the stream on here at 8 o'clock. And I was on the phone with Ray at 7:10 for about 10 minutes, and never mentions anything to me. And then about 15 minutes after I get off the call, I get the DM from Ray going live at 8 p.m.
yeah, I blocked Ray because he just kept sending me DMs about what time he was going on, and I was like, I muted him, but it would still come up. So I was like, I gotta fucking block this dude.
Oh, it's the I think it's pretty much I don't think he tweets that much anymore, so I don't see him. And you know what? I text back and forth with him, so if he was going to send me something, he usually wouldn't DM it. He only DMs that now, um, uh, because I was yelling at him about texting it to me.
Yeah, he's just too needy of a dude.
So Acid Dust thinks you're a good egg, Crumb. So
I feel the same about Acid Dust. He's a good egg. Or
cool.
she. They, them. They're great. I don't know if it's a guy or girl.
I think I saw that live, but I don't remember who. Um, I don't even know what we're talking about. Sorry, I'm getting behind. As when the chat used to be 7 people, it was easy to keep track, and even at 20, I have trouble. Um,
Yeah, I'd have to not pay attention to chats. It confuses me. And then I get sidetracked, and then someone will be like, "Oh, look at that guy's mustache." And I'm like, "Well, fuck you. My mustache is fine."
at some, oh no, Guru one. He ain't worth. No. That is not correct. Ray did not ask for money. Ray
Oh yeah,
has
that's a good guess though.
Ray has it is it's not it is and it isn't. I don't think Ray's ever asked anybody for money. Um, he would take it, but he wouldn't ask for it. Ray's just like that's why he's living in a basement, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. To Ray's credit, he doesn't like beg during streams. He's not like pumping his super chat thing. Like, so to his credit, he maybe he just doesn't realize it, but
right,
that is annoying when you watch a show and they're begging.
right. And as you say that, speaking of the chat and it getting overwhelmed and me doing this sort of by myself, if you're really trying to get my attention, the best way is to super tip me, and I have what's the word that I am looking for? I made my price the lowest you can do for a text tweet, and I think we should. Here we go. From me from Soup Party. Shmuel, time has come. All right. Um, Soup Party, you want to tell me
Yeah, I
what
was gonna
for?
say send him the link.
Oh no, no, no,
No,
no, no.
not
No,
your brand.
he seems like a really great guy, and I would love to have him on, but the N word and stuff flies out of his mouth with too much frequency, and I don't, I have
Yeah.
like real people that watch this, so I can't. Well,
No, I get you. You don't want to get fucking in trouble for some guy saying the N word.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get banned, obviously, but the other part of it is, it's like neighbors and shit are now watching,
Oh, really?
and yeah,
that's
because it's
that's
like
dangerous.
there. So I'm in a beach town, and the houses are pretty close to each other, like usually separated by like a driveway, let's say, and so they'll see me out here, and then they'll ask my wife, like, "Oh, what was he doing?" Like, I saw him on the computer the other night. And she's like, "Oh yeah, he's doing his little podcast." And then, "Oh, what is it?" And then they start looking me up, and so I don't need them to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't tell
uh,
anybody I do this in my real life.
they're about to play smooth jazz. No, but we could. We certainly could.
Mm-hmm.
So, will you? Did you see any of the Mir Musk interaction with J Mo and
Yeah, I was
uh,
watching. I was on
Scurry?
I was watching your feed of it. Yeah, you did
And
a good job.
oh, thank you. I tell you the truth. J Mo was handling it uh, really well, and my only thing was I kind of wanted to shit on Skarica, so that was the stuff I was going in on, and then trying to uh, sandbag me with Joey C. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just he's such a fucking dolt. I actually did a stream after that, and I tried to send him the link to Joey, but his Twitter was gone. And then
Yeah.
somebody else said to me I guess Nick, OG Mumbly Nick said his Twitter was gone. It might have gone back up, but he had deleted everything. I guess a presidential candidate doesn't want their old tweets coming back up.
That I just I don't get that guy. I mean, I know people love to watch him just to fuck with him, and he's easily to fuck with. But it's to me, it's just a giant waste of time and energy, even to
It's
watch him.
it's like I was saying, he's a clown. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of clowns, Nodak for $5 says, thanks for Clowntown pre-show. Mama, I'm Coming Home by Ozzy Osbourne on the accordion, please. Oh, the song request show is just
Yeah.
Dixon. You don't want to hear me singing it. I just actually heard a bluegrass version of that today, which I really loved. Um, I've totally gotten into this chick lately of her name's Molly Tuttle, and she's considered like one of the best guitarists alive, and bluegrass. And it's weird because she's from like Montecito, California. Um, but her fucking music is amazing.
What's her
And
name? I'm gonna look it up.
Molly Tuttle.
Molly Tell.
And
I love some bluegrass and
uh,
that kind of shit. It's my jam.
it yeah, it's like my favorite stuff. And of course, like everything else, Mrs. Buckman hates it. And I used to, when I first got my car, you have Sirius XM in it, and I
Yeah.
put on the bluegrass channel, and it was great. And she used to get in the car and like, "Oh, turn that off." And she's more of a pop, kind of
Yeah.
90 90s girl, but she's way more musical than I. Like she goes to more concerts and shit. And down here at this part of the Jersey Shore, you have the Stone Pony and all these like sort of famous clubs.
Yeah.
Um, she goes out all the time and goes to those shows, and not me. I generally stay away, but if
That's the,
there,
the Bruce Springsteen kind of shit, right? Wasn't he? That was his place. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
they have, but it's uh they have a lot of stuff there though,
Yeah.
and a lot of their cover bands are good. But um, she went to. I don't think she'd go to like a Led Zeppelin cover band, but she was at the Journey cover band and Queen. Uh, there's a God, there's a few of them, and then there's some like local bands that perform well here. One of them's named Pat Roddy, and the guy himself is good, but he mixes up the band with different talent. And he was in a local park a couple of weeks ago, and he had a sax player, and
Nice.
the guy was really cool because what happens is they start playing and you can hear the sax, but you can't see anything, you know. And he was sitting on a beach chair in the front of the crowd, like in the first row, and then he gets up and starts walking around. It was very cool. They
Oh,
put
that's
on a
cool.
really cool show. All right,
I
Chris
love that.
Mack. Guru has half the chat blocked, and he has the gall to whine about him getting unblocked on another channel. That's wild now. Um, yeah, we have,
Projection. He's projecting, Chris Mack.
yeah, uh, my good friend Cigarette Jones is modding for me here, and he does such a great job. Stealth Gillespie is taking out her revenge on the male gender one incel at a time. Hey, maybe she'll, maybe he'll just be a cell and and instead of involuntary, he'll be like, I tried. I tried. I know that really didn't go very well. Um, Sam Bibley, who the fuck is Guru? Get Sam Bibley unbanned. Sam, how could you be banned from anything? Um, I don't know. I'm gonna scroll way down, guys, because I'm getting a little overwhelmed here with chats. Uh,
Oh, yeah, I just realized the chat's on the left side. It's on when you're on StreamYard. It's on the right side. It's different.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird, right?
yeah.
And
I kind of like
but
this though. This seems like a better setup than StreamYard, honestly.
so here's this is the thing. So tell me you can hear this.
Shut up, Smeal.
Yeah,
Did you heard
Yeah.
that, right?
totally.
So but when I'm in the comments, I have to leave the comments to go to another place to play it. Like I can't post it anywhere. And I have a bunch of there's a bunch of sound drops that this comes with, and then I've added a few, but I'm always afraid to start clicking the mouse because knowing me, I'll wind up with like fucking NASA's, website streaming on here or some shit,
Yeah, right. Your
some
tabs all of a
Biden,
sudden pop on, and then everyone can see your shit.
right, some Biden speech or something. Ray is always big timing Shmuel, Cigarette Jones. Yeah, I don't know that that's, look, I don't think that that's what it is. But I do know that I think what happens is that um, maybe I should probably give Ray maybe Ray wants more credit or something. But I mean I've
Yeah,
got 23 people watching. It's not like we're killing it.
I feel like Ray always thinks that like people like us are beneath him. You know, like he that's the vibe I always got from him. He was like trying to like, he's like, oh, you're just a fucking, you're nobody.
Well,
Because I'd be
he
like,
did
I try to give him advice, and he's just like, no. And
he
we are
did get
nobodies, but you know.
yeah, I know. He did get pissed off at me once and said I was using him as a stepping stone. Um,
Yeah, which is
but
hilarious.
it was such a ridiculous comment. It didn't. I was just. I couldn't get mad at him for it.
How would you,
And
in his mind, how would you use him as a stepping stone to where? Like, what are you trying to get to?
I don't know. He was like one of the first streamers I streamed with.
Yeah,
So,
I can
um,
understand that remark from someone that is successful in their in comedy or podcasting, but it's not like he's not going to give you any boost in it. If anything, it's
uh,
going to be you're going to look down upon by being with Ray. I
well,
did.
I would have thought I could get if they were bigger or
Yeah,
if I was deceptive, but I've always been there for Ray. So,
right. I think that's
so
part of it too. Is that a lot of people fuck with Ray, so he, his defense is up pretty big because he's got to be. And same with Chad. I mean, people are always fucking with these guys, so they do have to take everything with a grain of salt, really.
yeah, why does Ray consider himself a creative type? Ray is not a bad stand-up. Um, I and people do like him. He's naturally likable, um, certainly in person. So, but anybody can consider themselves a creative type, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
Stilto thinks he's a creative type.
Oh,
Um,
totally. Yeah.
so I mean, he thinks he's killing it, Soup Party hot tub. It's behind me, but it's not on. Sorry. And I can't. I just can't see myself doing
Hot tub
a
stream.
hot tub stream. Yeah, nobody wants
Yeah.
to see me with a shirt off, and I barely want to see myself with a shirt off.
Well, if what was that guy that paid them? He paid Chad to do it and Melton to do it a couple of years ago. $1,000 to jump in the hot tub.
Uh,
Oh, it was David Chandler. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
what? Look, $1,000 might change my mind.
Yeah, I would do it. I'd do
You
it for
know,
$50.
I mean, it's certainly more painful for you guys to have to see my chest than me, but I'm like all scarred up, and I've had like so many surgeries that and I got the big. I had open heart surgery in my
Oh,
30s.
shit.
I have the big scar down my chest. Panhandler. Crumb is worse than the manifesto. He'll get going as soon as his coffee hits him. He'll start popping up. Uh, Metal blocks everyone. I don't know who's blocking who here. We're not blocking anybody in this place. And Stealth Chaos, you want to take a pic next to my nuts to see who looks better? I don't really know that that's an.
Who?
I
Oh, you. Who looks better than a nutsack?
stu-
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Groot Meister thinks he looks better than Stealth's. I don't know, or whatever. I,
Oh, maybe. Oh, he was talking about you in the hot tub. His nutsack is better looking than you in a hot tub, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The
Stealth,
old
you
nutsack.
want to take a pic next to my nuts to see who looks better?
Oh,
I
he's talking
have,
about stealth. Never mind. Yeah.
yeah, I have no idea. Soup
I
Party.
don't get why stealth gets so much hate. I like the guy. I think he's entertaining. He's got a cool life, living in Japan with a cool Japanese lady. Looks fun.
It
I like
does, but
Japan though.
I do too. But I think that the deal with Stealth is that he offers a lot of advice, and that's what people don't like. They don't
Right.
get it. You
Yeah.
know, they're like,
He's
well,
trying to teach.
who are you
Yeah.
telling Karmic what to do? I mean, he seems to be killing it on his own. But I really thought the advice that Stealth gave Karmic about Felicia was spot on. Spot on. Yeah, let's do this. Supertip.gg/Buckman. I'd appreciate it. Soup Party, by the way, is probably at like maybe $35 my top super tipper.
Nice.
So I love him, and I I like that I've seen the guy on other shows, and I like him, but I it's a language problem, and
Well,
so
how
maybe
about
one day
if he
Soup and I will
promises not
talk.
to say any bad words, you send him the link. But
I'll
that's
talk after I talk to him. We'll actually
okay.
have a voice conversation, and then we'll do that. When the chat was 7, it was me. Rochi numero, right? Exactly, right. NJ. Well, NJ Ranger is he has the link, but NJ Ranger is in Greece, so I think
Ooh.
it's like 4 o'clock in the morning there. Um, so he won't be on, and I think numero uno Josh Denny fan gave up on me, and Frank will definitely come in later uh, to ask me questions about Israel and Palestine. 100% that's going to happen. All right, we're going to skip down a bunch here. I got a bunch of
Yeah,
I don't, and I,
you get a lot of the Jewish anti-Semitism coming
well, let's
your
do
way.
acid dust. Crumb is a humanitarian. He raises awareness for fat necks on aging unfunny Tampa comedians.
Yes,
Wow.
that
I
was my thing for a while. I was just trying to get Chad to lose some weight, But now
Jersey
Clearwater Chad has taken the mantle of the fat neck Chads. So
Jesus, Jersey Shore. Clearwater Chad was on last week, and I like Clearwater Chad. I thought he
oh
did great.
yeah,
He was.
he's entertaining.
I may have said the N word on Pineapple's channel today. It was close. Oh, Nick.
Yeah, I enjoyed Nick's political talk on all these shows about fucking comics. He's like, let's talk about some politics. I enjoy it.
Yeah. The houses are too close together for Shmuel to have soup party on. Um, I just yeah. Well, I'll be happy. One day we'll do soup, but I'll when I am inside. Some Kenny G. Let's get that. What did he play? The clarinet, right?
No, I think it was the alto sax.
The alto sax.
Yeah.
All right. So much. Groot Master. My parents aren't home. Soup party. That's very funny. I always picture final boss as the parents yelling down at him to be quiet in the basement. Um, uh, like living next to I gotta Pan. I think you because somewhere like living next to you is embarrassing than your show. Come on now. Um, no, you know what? It's Cookie is here, so I can score real points for that. You know, she's Cookie's cool because like at Thanksgiving she bakes some kind of spice bread and she brings it to the neighbors and um she's very much the when somebody new comes to the neighborhood she buys them a bottle of wine. um
Nice.
Everybody really likes her.
She's a good
And
neighbor.
well, nobody fucking understands why she's married to me. Like
I get
from
that
the
all the
minute she
time.
started from the minute she started dating me, people were like, you could do better. And all
Insulting.
right,
You tell them to shut
Oscar.
the fuck up, don't you?
Mm-mm, I say she could.
Yeah, no, true. We all say that about our wives, I think. My wife could do way better than me. I don't know why. I ask myself that all the time. Like, what are you doing with me?
uh Groot Master, a guy Shmuel got into an argument on Mirror Stream. Um, at Groot Master, a guy is Groot Master's not Skarika, is it?
Oh,
Nah,
it
would
could
he do
be.
that?
Yeah, no, he was known for having like 4 alts on MLC. He would argue with himself. I mean, this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. I have no definitive proof, but I'm pretty sure he's the type that would have alts arguing with himself to make you think it's not his alt. You know what I mean?
Uh, what a
People do that.
fucking dolt. What a dolt. It was like, I just was like, it's creepy when he starts talking about like Melton's tax liens and shit like that. I'm like, get a fucking day job, pal. You got too much time
Yeah.
in your hands.
Well,
And
he's a trust fund baby who thinks he knows everything because his dad had money. So he has money too because his dad had money. So, and like you would buy a book, financial advice from a guy named fucking Addicted to Profits.
well, I know, but you would the major red flag is any financial advisor headquartered in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think FTX went there, right?
Did you ever watch the Wonton Don from Barstool Sports, Donnie? He was there during the pandemic at that guy's house, and it's just like, what? Why would you give advice? You live. I mean, it's a nice place. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Any house in the Bahamas is nice. Not everyone, but it isn't a bad place. It would be nice to have that, right? I wouldn't mind living there, but it's not like he's this fucking financial guru who's super successful. He's driving a Miata from like the 90s.
Yeah, I was joking around about his '97 Nissan, but
Yeah.
I guess it's
You,
an
you got to
old
watch that.
Mazda.
I'll send you a link to that Wonton Don series. It's fucking
I've
hilarious,
actually
dude.
seen it,
Oh,
but
okay.
it was years ago, and that's I think how he came on
Yeah.
to Brennan. I think that's where he was one of Brennan's big super chatters. Um, oh,
I
OG
had seen
Mumbling.
it on Wonton Don show, like when it happened. I like that Donnie guy. I like watching people traveling around the world doing live streams and shit. That shit's interesting to me. So that's how I had heard about it. And then the first time I saw him on a thing was Melton going over it, that was hilarious. The
Right,
wet
and
steaks and all that.
and you can't with Melton, you can't take Melton seriously, you know, because that's the whole deal. This is like that's why Steel Toe self-destructed because he couldn't handle it, and Skarika just got fucking butthurt,
Yeah, I mean,
and
I understand their side of it though, because it is weird that Melton has made his entire show about Aaron. To me, that's strange. I stopped watching because it was too much airing all the time, all day. It's not my thing.
Yeah, sorry. I hope the typing sound isn't too loud.
Can't hear it.
Oh, good. I have a very soft keyboard. I actually went and bought from my office. I I'm sitting. I have a girl. I have somebody who's been working for me for I don't know, like 18 years, right? And I'm planning to retire in the next year, and I would like very much for her to be in a position to either buy my business or whoever buys it to hire her. So we've been working more closely together, and she has an old like a keyboard that clanks, that clicks,
Yeah.
clacks,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize how much it made me nuts until I was watching Mersh and Mersh doing it.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
distracting. I have misophonia, so little tiny noises annoy the fuck out of me. So that is a turnoff for sure.
my yeah, and my wife is what do you call it? We get into it all the time because my wife is also that kind of heavy typer. Hey,
Mhm.
Stephen Bravo's here. Hey, Stephen. Um, glad you could make it. And Shmuel, what's under your tuttle? Molly, I wish. Um, although I think she's bald. She's got a new album out and she's bald in the album.
Yeah, that's the
And
first picture that pops up on Google. She's bald.
yeah, and I thought at first I thought it was a gimmick, and then I'm thinking I was looking at other pictures of her and I'm going like, oh man, maybe she's got like alopecia and she was bald. And this is like I'm coming out, you know? Like fuck
Hopefully,
you.
it's not cancer. Hopefully,
And Bainbridge Island, fancy. I don't know where that is. I don't think so, because she's got way too much energy for like a cancer patient.
mm,
Um,
good.
I got to scroll down pretty far because we're getting overwhelmed here with chats. OG Memlinik, I'm Shmuel. I have so many chats I can't keep up. I'm Shmuel. Yeah, you're not the guy
It
that's
is
on the
weird that the EVMux chat doesn't roll. You have to kind of hit the button to go down.
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Number one, it doesn't roll, and number two, um, there are regulars that are chatting who, uh, if I don't mention, will like get upset that I don't mention them. And then there are regulars like Sam Bibley and Vagina Wrinkle who I like, and I wouldn't want to miss them. You guys that live at Ray DeVito's leisure, be thankful he's benevolent. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And shut up, Shmuel, says Affy.
Shut up, Smule.
I re- I really like that one. I have a couple more that I'm having had them clipped, and Cigarette Jones and Guru One, Ray's Jealous and Ray of Hope, and Sam Bibley, Ray DeVito posts on Spurgtopia. Does Crumb, does Shmuel, does Stealth Chaos? No, Ray is strong. I know Spurgtopia is for families, but I don't go there.
No, I don't either.
So,
I
um,
don't go on any Discord groups. I'm on Discord. That's how I talk to a bunch of friends, but the group things are a little too much.
Stealth, you got to let me know which Spurg it is that we're dissecting here. Um, we're just trying to figure them out. I'm kind of slow. Oh, Guru
I
One.
always thought Sam Bibley was the guy who started Sparktopia. I guess I'm wrong.
I don't know. I know that Rochi said I should go on Spurgtopia. This was quite a while ago, and I said I would, and then I never did. And I might even be on there. Like I might have become a member, but I haven't opened my Discord app in I can't tell you when.
You should do a Discord for yours. That'd be fun because then people can jump on there and then you can look at that while you're on the show and stuff like that, or even video chat with some fans.
I have I honest to God, I really don't know how to use it.
No,
That's the answer.
no,
And
I get you. I get you.
I'm limited. And I had some like there was some strange shit on there. Like I was DMing back and forth with somebody. I was trying to get somebody on the show, and they disappeared. And then I was getting direct messages from somebody else, and the person had changed their name. And I was like, I can't follow. I can't follow along
Yeah,
too
it's a
much.
lot of things on there. And if you don't pay money, you can't send certain things to, like, if you post a picture, you have to pay money to post a bigger picture, or more data. So that's kind of
Oh,
annoying.
is that Nitro thing?
Yeah, you gotta
Um,
pay. Yeah.
Guru One. I have copious amounts of sex with numerous hot women to fool my detractors. You go for it.
Yeah, people are always calling Stealth gay, so he's got to prove he's not.
Shmuel talks about having threesomes, but he's worried about Soup Party saying something inappropriate. Uh, it's not the inappropriate; it's the wording of it. So Gina Bobina is here. We can
I,
all
I think
say hi.
I think threesomes are more socially acceptable than being racist or anti-Semitic. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big what do you call it? I I I just don't really have the time for the racist stuff and the anti-Semitic stuff and whatnot. And I just don't have that much time to do
Yeah.
it. Um, Gina
Life's too
Bobina,
short to hate people you don't even know.
that's a lot of beige. It is Gina, and I have been trying to work on it, but I haven't come up with great colors yet. And this was the color that was recommended by AI for my pale skin. Um,
That's
and it
funny.
looks like shit.
It does make you look tanner. So,
Well, it's because you know what it is. I'm out back, and it's dark out, and the light I have on actually makes it that way. But if I
ooh,
had to, if I was indoors, it 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 it, it just either I either wind up being pale or red. Like I can't get that in between area.
yeah. That's why I
And then if
use red lighting, because I have like red blotchy skin. So when I put the red lights on, you can't tell.
and then if I turn on beautification mode, um, it's so the filter is so
Oh
obvious
yeah.
that I do it. And the only time I've used the filter was I had this photodynamic therapy. I had that shit where they burn all the stuff off your face, and that was the only time I used the filter because it was like I had burns, literally like red burns all over my face, and
Yeah.
I could have chosen not to go on camera, or I looked at it and I went, that's not too bad. But I saw the unfiltered version, and it was like pretty fucking gross, pretty
Right.
fucking gross.
I feel
Um,
you. I'm actually a
s-
few months past my six month checkup at the dermatologist. I gotta go back, so I'm gonna be all scarred up. I got a spot over here that's fucked.
yeah, you know, if they can do it with the nitrogen, what is it, nitrogen, liquid nitrogen, that's great. But unfortunately, this
No,
required the whole thing. So
I've
Gina
had skin
Bobine is
cancer
here.
3 times on my face. It just keeps coming back.
Wow, that's why you got to watch it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Vagina Wrinkle, like everybody else, he's been a Gina Bobina fan for a long time. A long time. I do remember when Stuttering John was in love with Gina, right? He
Gina
was
Burbiner.
no, he was convinced. And then of course the fake ones would come on, and he would there would be fake Gina Bobinas that would go on and like talk. I guess they would talk to him or DM him, and he was too stupid to realize what.
Yeah, Gina's great. I've been friendly with her on Twitter for a while. Always nice.
Hey, go all the way down. The screen is beige. I didn't notice. I'm not racist. I don't see color. Ha ha ha. Nobody believes that. Uh, shit show. Make time. Swinger Schmule. No, I'm definitely not a swinger. Um, I have enough trouble satisfying and being there for one woman. Um, Discord people will try to groom you into becoming a troon. All right, what's troon? Crumb?
I don't know, but I'm gonna guess that like they're trying to get you to go on so they can fuck with you. I don't know if that's what it means, but that's my guess.
I was I suspected as much. That's why I didn't really I it wasn't that big of a deal. And
Yeah, they're always begging me to come back to Spurgtown or whatever it's called, Spurgtopia. I had my own thing one time, Crumbtown. It made a bunch of problems because then I ended up blocking a lot of people, and they were so hurt about it. It was strange to me.
I had a bit of a conversation with little Lemmy today back and forth on DMs, and I was just laughing at um both of us were chuckling at the things that the people in this universe get mad at.
Right?
A- And it's insane. Like a-
Yeah.
and then and they all do your like if you try to say something nice and or helpful, your motive is what do you call it?
Questioned.
Questions.
Yeah.
Always questions. And Troon,
Lemmy has a great take on a lot of stuff I've learned. She's fantastic.
I know, which is why I can't get her. I keep trying to get her on here because I want her to talk about it.
She picks her spots, man. She's smart.
Well, that's what first made me like her was the when she would do BYB. I remember Brennan saying she doesn't even talk, but I noticed it was like she doesn't. But when she did, it was always a comment that was right on,
Yeah.
and it would derail and or change the chat. Troontown.
Well, then maybe I'll make that into my next Discord village.
You could, yeah, that might work.
It is fun. I mean, I was drinking a lot more back then too, so it was fun just to get drunk and just go on to Discord and yell at people. That's where that's why people probably told you I was evil.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, right? Like I had you on and you were smooth jazz. You were just like the most mellow guy in the world. And then
Yeah, that's the real me.
I was getting messages like, he's an asshole, he's always fighting people, be careful, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
I
That's
was like,
drunk Crumb.
that's funny. Um yeah, I would always get
I
I
mean, I can be a dick for sure. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, we all can.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about not I'm not nervous is not the right word, but I would be terrified if I came on here drunk. Because I would just say shit. I would say awful shit. I would be stuttering John. I would think it would be
Yeah.
the most intellectual, thought-provoking stuff, and
Yeah.
it would be dumb and it would get me in trouble.
Yeah.
And so
That's the truth. Yeah, that's happened to me. I mean, during the pandemic, I
uh,
used to get on and go on like a show and just be fucking. It's sometimes it was good, but sometimes just phew,
uh
disaster.
Cigarette Jones, Lucy Tightbox should come on Schmeal Talk. That is a possibility, um, but Lucy is one of the busiest persons in uh, the Dabbleverse, and so uh, it'll happen, but I don't know when it's going to happen. It'll be at some point. Um,
She's
she and
good.
the
I like her.
she and the wife became fast friends out in Las Vegas.
I don't
Uh,
watch Who Are These Podcasts at all, but the few times I have and she was on, she's fantastic. Nice voice.
and she's at, and but she's lovely in person. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but she's just like a real sweetheart. And but her and Cookie, um, it was just funny because I would turn around, they'd constantly be talking to each other, and it was hilarious because it was like there's all these guys that they're like karmic with around Felicia, right? Like
Hmm.
you could just see they're like circling around, like waiting for a chance. But they were too nervous to walk up to her and just start talking. And it was
Yeah, I
it,
feel like there's a bunch of dudes in this world that are don't know how to talk to a lady.
no, I think Mersh said that. Mersh said something today, like somebody was philosophizing, oh, radical feminism has ruined men or something, and um, he was like, and Mersh was like, just go out and talk to girls, and I think there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of that, and when I go to the shows, I miss people like that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
so
funny. You're referring to Mersh with sage advice.
hey, look, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? And I I find myself agreeing with him more often than I really wish I did. Um, but I
He's been
also,
doing this shit forever too. Like
yeah,
I know I saw his show before I ever heard of Melton or any of these dudes. Honestly.
I didn't, I did not know who he was. I had never seen him, and what made me even get to know him was he was doing. So this can't be that long ago. WATB was doing the show. WATP was doing the show in Fort Lauderdale, maybe. Um, and Mersh was on it, so I looked him up, and then they did a meet and greet and other stuff, and apparently Mersh did not show up for the meet and greet, and then immediately after the show was over, where they were mingling with fans, he went into the back room and didn't talk to anybody. And Carl actually complained about it on his show, saying, you know, the guy's wondering why he doesn't make any money and why nobody's seen him. So, but he may have taken that advice. He may have taken that advice and then done, and that's why he's doing better.
Yeah.
Um, and
I
I guess
mean,
he's getting doom clipping for him.
well, I mean, maybe he's just socially awkward. It's harder to talk to people in person than because some of these guys are really like Melton. I guess is good at it. You know, he's real personable. I've heard Carl is like super fun to hang out with in real life. But some of these people just it's not their thing. You know, they're not good in social settings.
Um, but he claims that he is,
Yeah.
right? I was a strip club manager. I used to talk to the guys. I don't know. I think that sometimes what happens is if you if you really try to ask him about some of the stories that he tells, he wouldn't he wouldn't remember what they were because they were probably somebody else's.
No.
And
Yeah.
I heard him describing the way a town, an area of Queens operated, and I was like, and he was very serious about it, and I'm like going, he has no fucking idea what he's talking about, you know? But that was it.
I think he's from that area. I remember him talking about that. He's from New York, I think.
He's from Long Island.
Yeah.
Cigarette
He
Jones, I like her sultry voice and other assets. Yes, we do.
he used to drive Bobo around from O&A. He was like Bobo's chauffeur or something. He was trying to get Clam on to fucking Bobo.
Well, that's what everybody that I know him, that I know who knows him as. Like the Kumias of the world and the old O&A crowd, the pests and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Um, we never knew him as the guy, who did this.
yeah,
And I didn't even put two and two together until somebody said to me, "Oh yeah, that's the guy that used to chauffeur Bobo around."
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I listened to O&A a ton. I never heard anyone talk about Mersh on that show or Bobo talk about him. I always thought he
I
just
don't.
took the train in or the
I heard.
bus.
Yeah, I heard. I did. There was a clip that I remember hearing originally that he Mersh drove him to like Buffalo or something,
Mm.
and Bobo was promoting Mersh on the show.
Oh,
But I I don't I don't know. I don't think tying yourself to Bobo is really the way, like,
yeah.
to get anywhere. Um, I'm assuming this is directed to you. Greg Sidwer, it's crazy you continue to lie about what happened on Discord. Um,
Yeah, that's my number one fan.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Cool. Um, I like the way she eats butter. I didn't see it, and I haven't seen any of her sexual stuff. Oscar Electric, yo Buckman. Oscar Electric did one of the best AI things I've seen. He's got Ashley and Keanu in like a snow globe. it's a spaceship snow globe thing, and he's got them traveling through. I think they're using it as the intro for their show, and
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm like going, "Oh man, that's fantastic!" But they still get like 12 viewers. Um, so I don't
Yeah,
know what's.
I couldn't watch that. No.
Uh, do you think Nurse? Hold on a second. This is Shitzo show. This question has come up. Do you think Mersh negotiated the Doom push with Melton as part of the super tip deal? I have no idea. Um, but but don't all of these clippers do like get paid to do clips as well? I mean, they clip what they clip, but um, I always
I don't
assumed
know.
that you could hire them. I always thought Melton, it's not a secret that Melton hires Doom to do clips. Isn't that correct?
That's
So
what my understanding was that. Yeah. I mean, and
yeah,
they're some of them are monetized on their channel too. So if they get ad revenue or whatever it is.
Cigarette Jones commercialize a lot. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Embellishes.
it's he embellishes, but I'm thinking like the thing that he does is he takes other people's stories and makes them his own. And like,
Yeah.
this is what I did. And there's always like enough detail in it, like because he's remembering the names and um, it 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 just doesn't seem like him. And he certainly doesn't come across as the guy who's as much a tough guy as he likes to say he is, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but and Mersh was phenomenal at driving Bobo around that one time. Yeah, he didn't get him killed. Uh, Affy, let's say here. Uh, Mersh, start with a story. So I was fucking this chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not come across as a guy who would be would be banging prime meat, you know. And but I do love like he Mazzy, right? He was like, Detroit 5. And I'm like, and I'm always whenever these guys say this, I'm like going, show me who you've dated. You
Right.
know, like, um, the, first of all, she's no 5, but the other part of it is like, you'd be lucky to have somebody as attractive as that. I mean, not I don't know their personality and stuff, but just, you know,
Yeah.
that girl is not looking, you know, for you.
Well, I mean,
And
a lot of these dudes, they're judging other men on podcasts too. Like, oh, look at him. He's got weird beard or whatever. It's like, yeah, what do you look like?
yeah, well, I definitely get a lot of judgment, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm also 63. It's like, why are you, you
And,
know?
and it rolls right off your back. You don't give a fuck.
Well, I was laughing at Skarika the other night with Turkey Neck. Like that was his big him and Mir.
Yeah.
This was their big own of me. And you
Which
know,
is hilarious because the dude looks like he looks the most like anyone, like Rocky Dennis, like anyone I've ever seen. The mask guy. He's got a giant head. You know,
he yeah, and he's like he's
glass
got
houses.
that hair thing going,
Yeah,
which is like
he
he
loves his
kept
hair
saying
too.
he kept saying, I'm playing with my hair like Ashley. With Ashley, it seems like a nervous thing,
Yeah,
like about being on camera. I would imagine if you met Ashley in person, she wouldn't play with her hair as much. But this guy, it's like, oh look, oh I have
yeah.
to throw my hair back, and
Oh, you can tell that he loves his hair. He probably buys special product. He's got it all going because that's his thing. He's got a good for him. His hair is not bad looking. He's got a nice head of hair for an older man. But the fuck,
yeah, and yeah, he got really pissed at me when I said it was his forehead was getting bigger. Um,
he got a big square head. Yeah,
yeah, and look, you lose your hair. It happens. It is.
yeah.
Um,
I'm balding.
Shmuel Molman. No Shmuel Bugman, but we'll do our best. Burroughs' first comedy gig was at a frat house. Um, did they? I hope they didn't abuse the poor fella. All right.
Yeah, I mean, definitely did. That,
All right.
yeah.
I know they did. Cigarette Jones in Buffalo. Um, I don't know if that was the one that I could do it. Uh, I wish I could hear O and A, Ron and Fez, Don and Mike grew up where there wasn't one FM station on the radio. Wow, no deck. Um,
Yeah, it's a different
Ron and
time now.
Ron and Fez were a real go-to for me. When O&A got booted from the air, they sent Ron and Fez to Washington, and that show you could listen to on the internet. And I used to listen to it every night. Uh, and it was sad what happened with Fez, not the death, but his mental breakdown. Um, and after a while, it was just too painful to listen to.
Yeah. I started listening to XM. I got XM in 2005. So it was O and A and then Ron and Fez right after. That's how I got into it. So I didn't know beforehand. I know the history now, but when I first started listening, that was the greatest like time in radio in my opinion when they were both on XM.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then they do the Afro shows, and the fans were awesome. I would go to like Ron and Fez events,
Mhm.
and they were awesome. And Ron Ron is an awesome guy. Like
Oh
to
yeah.
meet in person, and Anthony the same. Um, Fez was a good guy, but the thing was with the Fez, you'd always feel like I shouldn't say you, I did. Uh, he was like nervous and whatnot, and he just
Yeah.
um, I just would didn't want to
That
get into it.
makes
But
sense.
Ron was a bear of a man. He would do it. Anthony, same thing. Opie, whenever there was an event that Opie was at that I met, um, you really felt like he was looking down on you. You know
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
old.
I always got that vibe from Opie. I like Opie. I've always been a fan. I get why people don't like him, but I've always liked Opie. I can see the what he did for that show. People just brush him under the rug, but he was very integral to that whole thing. But I get that vibe that he has, like you know, I don't know how to say what it is. I get like a Long Island. I know a lot of people from Long Island. He seemed like that type of guy, just a fucking upper class. I'm better than you kind of fucking dude. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and he wasn't. He certainly
Yeah.
he's not. But he was like the guy that was like I don't know. He reminded me of a frat boy.
Yeah,
Like
that's I
um,
guess I was looking for. Yeah,
I'm
frat boy.
like uh, I was big in my frat, and I was this. It was very funny to listen to. WATP played some of the clips where John was a guest on Stephanie Miller's show, and Rochester came up, Brother Weeze,
Oh yeah,
and Stephanie Miller saying that, "Oh my God, that Opie guy, he used to get me my coffee." She was the morning co-host, and he was an intern. So,
yeah.
pretty funny. And Sideshow Show Bob Hair, Nick is 100% correct. Um, the Midnight Rider saga of Ron and Fez was my favorite. That was our boy Dave.
Yeah.
Um, and Dave is doing a show now with Aaron Berg, which I have not yet gotten to hear, and that's mostly my fault. Um,
I met Berg one time. He was a super nice guy, and his stand up was fucking phenomenal.
I don't know. He and I have actually hung out together. We've gone to dinner together.
Nice
Uh,
guy.
gambled a bit together. He was playing slots. It was very funny. But he's like he is a he's just a he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy to be around, and he was pretty free with his comments about leaving um,
Gino.
Compound Media and
Yeah.
leaving Gino, and it's also where you find out like Pat Dixon was not the first person that Gino had a physical altercation with.
Oh,
Um,
I'd imagine. Gino just seems like a douche. Like his persona on air is probably the same guy off air. Not funny, just abrasive, in your face.
loud.
I saw
My
a picture earlier. I don't know if you saw it. I think Misery Loves Clips shared it. It was Gino at Aaron's event today, and he's fucking having a cigar with a guy with a giant swastika tattoo on his chest. It's like, yeah, that's a great look, dude. What are you fucking doing? Retard.
It's free speech. It's free speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gino's. I don't know. He's just such a fucking idiot.
I can see.
Oh man.
Yeah. Sorry.
And it's legit, right? Like it's
oh yeah,
not.
you can tell it's an old faded fucking swastika on this dude's chest. It's weird. Like,
I don't know.
why would you post that?
Yeah, the Gino thing now is actually just pretty sad. You know, like he had that trash can sales job on TikTok, and he blew that, and you're like, what can this guy do?
Yeah, how did he ever say how he blew it? Like, how do you get fired from selling trash cans? And I actually have one of those trash cans, but not because he was selling it. I've had it before that. They're actually good trash cans.
I've heard two stories. One is that his appearance, etc., and the way he showed up turned them off.
Yeah,
But the
not
other
surprised.
more plausible story is he went. It's one of those jobs where they just call you for it, right? And you come in and you do it. And he went to California for like a week or a week and a half, whatever it was, supposedly shooting a film or something. And uh, he wasn't going, and then they just stopped calling him.
Hmm.
So I don't
Not
know whether he
surprised.
pursued it again. Uncle Bob just sent me another threat. It's so funny. I can tell when Joey DMs me and when he has Uncle Bob write it.
Oh wow.
It's pretty funny. Speaking of which, if Chris Mack is still here, I still need him to rewrite the manifesto / love letter that Serenity Now wrote to Karmic and I read the other night. Nodak, surprisingly, Northwest North Dakota didn't get many channels. I had to drive 10 miles east to get an FM station. That's pretty wild.
And they worked better at night, probably too.
Probably. And it's Gino, not good. He should quit. I think he's been fired. And Gino hasn't earned his ego. I've heard.
I mean,
I've
there's
heard
an
a
audience
bunch of
for him, but
stories.
it's dudes with swastikas on their chest. That's his audience. I mean, steel toed fans, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it.
He made those horrible smash burgers. I don't know. I just I've heard a bunch. It's like I've heard stuff. But he was friends with Artie, and that apparently was something that got him going. But I've heard he's difficult to work with, and that stuff. I always thought he'd be good, like as one of those crazy guys in sports. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
His energy always turned me off. Even if I enjoyed what he was saying, his just energy on In Hot Water, I couldn't watch it. It made me. I would get motion sickness from how much he would be moving and doing his sleeves and tapping the. It's just like too much, bro. Like I don't. I guess that's coke. Is that cocaine? I'm not a
Maybe.
coke guy. I'm very mellow.
Yeah. I mean, well, having a what do you call it? A co-host who uh, who's been known to do certain things. Um, I would say yeah, because you feel like when they're hitting it, they're bouncy and stuff.
Yeah. I've never done
So
cocaine. Was that ever anything you were into?
it's the greatest drug in
Yeah,
the
that's why I
world.
never did it. I feel like I would love it.
So it's funny. Had a friend, a really good friend of mine, who moved to Israel, and he came here, and he was like, he really wanted to try crack, and he was like, and he was like, the reason why there were many reasons why he wanted to try it, but his big thing was he wasn't worried about getting addicted to it because he's like, I can't get it where I am, so it's like, I'm not gonna get addicted to it. And apparently, he tried it once, so he told me, and he was like, I should never have done that. That was like the greatest thing I've ever done. So he didn't go back. Uh, Mazzy, I think I sent you a link, but if I didn't, I'm happy to. But great to have Mazzy here. And
I could
we
never
were,
do crack because of New Jack City, the movie. You know, Pookie. That just
mm,
that crushed me when I was a kid. I was like, Pookie's dead. Fucking crack.
now Pookie was the Chris Rock character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I just remember him at that time when he was like watching everything. He was serious, and then the one time he's got like the Walkman in, and
Yeah,
he's and it's like, oh, everybody
that
knows.
fucking movie
Uh,
is so good.
it is good. It is good. Yes, we remember that. How long before? Yeah, I was. It was like I just picture like uh, Gino becoming abusive, just like drunkenly abusive. Even if it's not physical, it's going to be um, verbal.
Yeah.
Like,
He's the guy when you're going out and you're like, oh, is Gino gonna be there? Fuck. You know, you have to like keep your wits about you because you know he's gonna say something dumb or do something dumb, and someone's gonna fuck with him. You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I get from that dude.
yeah, and but he does travel around stuff. But he's done some pretty shitty stuff. The recording shitty stuff. The recording Mark Norman in the bathroom, and then like trying to fuck with Ray by going to the show at the stand that Ray had on Tuesday nights and like sitting at the bar and staring at him.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that.
yeah,
So,
I mean it's just. Go
what
ahead.
was
I'm
the
sorry.
Mark Norman story with him? I never heard that.
So
Golly.
he he had recorded. Um, he made a recording of Mark Norman, and Norman got pissed off. Now, supposedly, it's like, oh well, they knew they were recording, but what had happened was they were live streaming in the club, and somebody told them not to live stream. But apparently, Gino had according to Gino, right? He had his phone on record by mistake, but he was talking to Mark Norman in the bathroom, but he was
Oh,
recording it at the same time.
oh,
And
not
yeah, and
cool.
then yeah, Norman got really pissed off at him. So uh,
That's why Robert Kelly fucking or didn't attack. He got in Brennan's face that one time because Brennan was recording Bobby while he was doing a set at the Cellar or the Village Underground.
oh really? Yeah, I
No,
don't know, Brandon.
Fat Black Pussycat. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
club across the street. Um, tell us about your Coke days. There were no Coke days. I've done it, but I'm like, it was too good for me, and I'm too cheap. It would just be too expensive to do.
Yeah.
And the girl who I date was pretty funny. It was her friend that I first did it with. I think it was the first time, but this guy just had like all this coke that night, and we were doing it. And little did I know the chick that I was with had apparently had a problem like with
Mm.
coke, and it, so that's like a Saturday night or whatever. Anyway, chick disappears, literally disappears, and I'm like, I had no idea. I didn't hear from her. No cell phones at the time. Blah blah blah. Um, she got Jesus that week, and you know, and then came back and like was telling me all about told me about her life that I had not been aware of, and it was pretty wild. Pretty wild. But
Yeah, I've never heard anyone have like a great story about doing coke. Honestly, it always ends badly, or they regretted it, or they lost their
pe-
job, or you know.
people who do it like just every now and then or whatever, those guys have great stories. But it's the people who do it regularly and get caught up in it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
it,
for me personally, nowadays, I'd be so afraid of getting some fentanyl or whatever that shit that kills you real quick. You don't even know what's in
right.
there. They don't know what's in there, but a molecule will kill you. Fuck that.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the fentanyl is, I mean, they use fentanyl in hospitals. That's like
Yeah.
kind of replace Demerol and stuff,
Right.
but they know how much is in it. The
Right.
problem is when these guys make it, in their home labs, you
Yeah.
could be getting
And
10
it's
milligrams or 1,000 milligrams. You have no
right.
idea,
It's
you
not
know?
regulated. It's made by. I mean, I have never taken fentanyl in the hospital, thankfully, but I've been with people that were given it, but I would trust that. I mean, the doctors know what they're doing. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody when I was in the Air Force during uh anyway, when people go in for surgery and whatnot, the med that they would give them was Demerol and Vistaril.
Hmm.
And I mentioned that, and a guy he's a retired nurse, and he was telling me, he goes, "Yeah, that's been replaced. They started using fentanyl a long time ago." Apparently, if I understood the guy correctly, it works better and it's easier to reverse.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, makes sense.
let me go back here. Um, I just saw something that I thought was funny. I thought it was
Oh,
Noga.
Aussie
Uh,
guy. Aussie guy has a good comment.
yeah, all right. Cigarette Jones, fentanyl patches. I have a friend who died from fentanyl patch. He overdosed on fentanyl patches because what happened was he got throat cancer. He was undergoing radiation and stuff, and he was in a lot of pain, and they gave him the fentanyl patches, and they told him that he could wear up to 3 patches at a time.
Mm.
But what happened, but he didn't want to use them. He didn't want to use them. He didn't want to use them. Anyway, what happens is later on he loses so much weight, and he was in such pain he put on 3 patches, and they found him in his car in front of his house, just dead, and it turned out that he had OD'd on the fentanyl patches because 3 was too many by that time.
For his body weight. They gave him the
For
prescription for a certain time, and then it was that's crazy.
Aussie guy, speaking of women and drugs, Ashley Cummings is the guest who asked you to pay her to do her show, right? Um, Ashley, that's not who I'm talking about now, but yes, Ashley does want to get paid to go on shows. Um,
It's
I
crazy.
know like Dan paid her, um, and other people, and she gets paid to do the the Keanu thing. Um, I I don't I don't know how, but um, she's like a known it's a known commodity. This was somebody who I was just surprised that they wanted money, which explained to me why I haven't seen them on too many shows. Um, uh, Legalize hookers and fent. Uh,
I mean, I
yeah,
agree. I think everything should be legal.
yeah. I'm not in that world. Only because it's like if it's something like fentanyl is so addictive that you want to
Yeah, you're probably
keep
right.
people keep people from getting it, but what do I know?
Yeah,
And
right. I don't know. I mean, alcohol is pretty bad. It's legal. That's always my argument. Oh, this is legal. Why can't this be legal?
yeah, but
Uh, they're not smart.
literally not the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, you're
There's better,
alive.
smarter people making those decisions. Thankfully.
Um, yeah, but also too, I mean, the look, the smarter people have recommended against legalizing weed, and uh, I I just laughed because it was like, we were told basically it was going to be for cancer patients and
Yeah,
this, and now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a bellyache is waking and baking
yeah.
24/7. So there you go. Mr.
Uh,
Blue Sky is thrilled that the Aussie guy is back, and yeah.
I
So
quit
let's.
smoking weed recently. I'm 2 weeks clean of the weeds.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, why
Cool.
not?
I was once at a 12-step meeting, and in the next room was a Marijuana Anonymous meeting, and I was listening to it because you couldn't help it because they were two smaller rooms, and I'm
Yeah,
like, Marijuana Anonymous. I'm like, what a bunch of pussies you are. But it's a real thing.
Oh, totally. I mean, people get addicted to fucking Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, you can get addicted to anything, for sure.
I feel like I had an Ambien addiction.
That's just nuts, dude.
When I quit drinking and I had a prescription for Ambien, asked the doctor, it's fine, it's fine. Um, and but I couldn't like I needed it.
Yeah.
The problem was it didn't work. It was great when you were drinking and not so great when you
Yeah.
were not drinking. But I was taking it to go to sleep. I would like come home and it'd be like 8 o'clock with the logic, oh, by 11 I'll be sleepy. But you get past the sleepiness and it gives you a really nice buzz.
Yeah.
Um,
My wife had a prescription to Ambien once, and of course, I took a couple. That is like we had some crazy fucking nights on that. Both of us just on Ambien. Like she would sit up all night making collages out of magazines, like cutting. It was like psycho shit, you know.
my
You remember Patrick Kennedy?
Mhm.
He was a congressman at the time. They found him, you know, drove his
He got
car
into
into a
a car
barrier at the
accident. Yeah.
Capitol. Yeah. He's like, it's Ambien, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not judging because I know I've been there, not that place,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
That was back when you could get away with that as an excuse.
Yeah,
And now they'll just cite you for
yeah.
DWI or DUI. Um, but yeah, my ex-wife can tell you, I would have told you I never wanted kids and I wasn't going to have kids. And my ex-wife can tell you that when I was on Ambien and had a couple of cocktails in me, I would be telling her how much I loved her. I'd sound like Miss MKE and, how I wanted her to have a baby and all this other stuff. And I literally didn't remember it.
Yeah.
And there were
Oh wait.
conversations about that.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I've been there. I had a problem with Xanax because I had anxiety at one point, so the doctors prescribe you Xanax. Well, I'm an addict, so I was fucking eating handfuls of them. You don't remember shit from that stuff. It's a amnesiac drug. You just forget. I think Ambien's kind of the same class of drugs.
Yeah, it's not a benzo, but yeah, people I think people who take Ambien also tend to take Xanax. So,
Hmm.
but
I think
yeah,
Xanax is the scourge on our society because that shit's dangerous, and they hand it out like it's candy. I don't know if they do
mhm.
still, but I avoid it like the plague.
They still do. It's not
Yeah.
like it it's not I had a prescription had a prescription for Xanax, right? And had a prescription for Lexapro, shit like that. And I just remember going to it was a psychiatrist who gave me like the Xanax and stuff. And the reason why I got it was because I was having like claustrophobia and
Mhm.
fear of flying, and I had to take like a long 10-hour flight. And she was like, "Oh, just take one about an hour before the flight, you'll be fine." I go and I pick it up. There were 90 capsules or
Yeah.
90 tablets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, you know?
Oh yeah.
Um, but that blew me away. Oh,
And that was probably the time when they
J-Lo is
were
here.
prescribing like the 3 milligram bars or the school buses, I would call them. And they're like 2 or 3 milligrams. Now like they prescribe like 0.25 milligrams because they've
So
gotten smart to it.
in New York, the most you could get, I think it might have been a half. It may be 1 milligram, but
Hmm.
the bars have never been legal in New York.
Okay.
And what's really funny about that is in Connecticut they were. And so I used to get a prescription and then drive to Connecticut
Yeah.
and get the bars. Uh,
Yeah. I'm
we,
talking about when the time in Florida when the pill mills were around. You
mhm.
could have like a ingrown toenail and you're gonna get fucking 60 oxys. Like, shit was
Yeah.
dangerous, dude.
I can't remember the name of I can't remember the name of the book, but there was a book that came out uh as this sort of thing was going on, and they talk about in the book how that whole thing got going, and it really started with really was Purdue Pharma
Yeah.
and those guys.
Yeah.
And what happened was some guy wrote a research paper, and in it there was a line that said people in pain generally did not become addicted to it, but it was really a throwaway comment, but in context it was in a very specific arena, and they took that comment and were like putting it in their ads
Yeah.
and convinced everybody. And then that was about the time I went through one of the like, I don't know if it was the heart surgery or I also had cancer surgery. So, but one of those 2 times, and they kept worrying about my pain and was
Yeah.
I getting enough pain med? And I'm like, these guys are giving me pain meds, and then they're telling me I gotta get out of bed and walk, and all
Yeah.
I want to do is sleep, you know?
Yeah, because
Um,
you're zombified.
so send Mo the link. I tried to send JMO a link, but it wouldn't take it. Um, and Mr. Blue Sky. You have no idea how many shows I listened to this week where I thought I was getting mentioned. Um, that's funny. So one of my, by the way, guys, supertip.gg/Buckman. I could really use the help, so it would be great if you hit me up on that. Um, so I get the people that send you information, like, oh, here's something. Don't say it came from me. And
Yeah.
the thing I got this week that said don't say it came from me was that um, MSIP was really Franklin Scheckler, and
Oh.
that and then I said, yeah, I checked, and they're saying that's bullshit. And then I got, no, he's taken over MSIP's stuff. Like he's using that name to chat with. And I'm like, this is just it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. And
I, I,
it's like,
s- I saw that MSIP in, I think, Eccles' chat today, or someone's chat. They're back.
well, there was Schmiel Bugman in Eccles chat today. There was an Ashley and a fake Ashley. There was an Oscar
Okay.
Electric and a fake Oscar
Yeah,
Electric.
there's
So
like 3 of them. Yeah.
there were a lot of people. Mr. Blue Sky, haha. Ozzy, I think you got mentioned this week though. Um, I heard Aussie guy get mentioned. Not that you had died, but you came up in the maybe This Little Piggy. You came up with when they were talking about you and Husey, right? And the show that you did with Steel Toe, and someplace else I heard you too. Um, Roseanne blamed it on Ambien. What? She racist? I don't know. What did
No, then
Roseanne blame?
when she got kicked off of her own show, and then they killed her on the show from an opiate overdose.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yeah. Yeah, she
That's
died on that
fucked up.
show from opiates.
You know what's funny about that is they kicked her off her own show. And like the Colbert thing that they're talking about this week. These shows haven't made money. Like some of these shows haven't made money, but they're so politically involved and they
Hmm.
got themselves into such a box, they haven't been able to cancel them,
Right.
you know?
Well,
And
Colbert got canceled because CBS and Paramount was being bought by Skydance. So they looked at the fucking numbers and said this shit is garbage. And Skydance was probably like, well, we'll buy it. Just get rid of this $40 million fucking waste. And they did.
yeah. So last weekend at my block party, one of my neighbors is he's a former big time radio executive. I mean, at one time he was like the GM of 1010 Wind here in New York, and also so we were talking about um, the Colbert thing, and I asked him straight out, like, do you think he got canned because of Trump and what and because Trump on, and he was like, no, they've been losing money. He was telling me like how the ad dollars work and how they're not making any money, and these guys like, um, I don't know what the number. I'm probably going to exaggerate the numbers, but like let's say that Letterman got 15 million. This guy's getting like 10% of that. but they're still paying the same prices for it. And it was
Yeah.
about prestige. And then, like in the new thing, he said basically what happened is, we don't need the fucking headache,
No.
you know.
No.
And
Not when like YouTube shows that get more viewers than Colbert ever do. Get way more viewers than he ever does. I mean, there's some YouTube shows I see, nothing Dabbleverse related, but they get like 3 million views in 3 days. Colbert
yeah,
never gets that shit, and
it's
there's a fraction of the amount of money going into it.
it's insane. This
Yeah.
guy,
No one watches
ex-
TV.
this guy explained to me he was just a real he's I don't know how to explain. He's a really nice guy, um, and for some reason he likes me. I have no idea why. Like he does not live on my street. He lives a couple of blocks away, and he sent a text saying, um, "I'm thinking of going to the block party. Are you going to be there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be here." He goes, all right, then I'll come." But we sat on the beach one day, and he gave me like the breakdown of how these companies all fucked up because they all thought there was no way people were going to leave to go watch the streaming stuff, and they fought it. He said there were people that were like telling them, "Hey, look, this is the wave of the future. You need to get clips out. You need to take this seriously. You need to," and they were like, "No." And they really, because they had controlled everything
Mm-hmm.
so much, they didn't think that stars or popular celebrities were going to go uh, start doing shit on their own
Yeah.
and and he's also like the prices that they were paying for people have the economics don't make sense,
No. And
like
then
what
when
they pay.
you and then when like Colbert will half his audience or half the viewing audience, he's pissing off because he's talking shit about Trump, where people like Trump. So that's what I liked about the old school shows. They would kind of like, they were center. You knew that they were probably one way or the other in their private life, but they didn't really talk about that kind of shit as much. It was about being funny or having on celebrities to promote their shit. But like Colbert is just basically super left wing. That turns off a lot of viewers. It's not good
Yeah,
business.
uh, right, but they were preaching to, he was preaching to a certain audience, and
Yeah.
if stuff he'd done had been funny, that would be fine. Dr. Steve put up a tweet today where he's when Trump was president and they were coming up with the vaccine. Colbert was, "I don't trust these pharmaceutical companies. I don't
Oh yeah.
trust the mRNA. I don't trust any of this stuff." When Biden was in there selling it, it was like he trusted it all. Same vaccine, same everything. Um, and the only thing that had changed was who was pushing it. So
It's
Shmuel
crazy.
Barman, Shmuel Bumpman. Um, so this one, by the way, somebody put in here that going cold turkey from Xanax is and alcohol, they can both
Yeah.
oh, here it is. Like
Oh,
alcohol,
totally.
cold turkey from Xanax can kill you.
Yeah.
By the time you get so addicted to either one of those, though, like you got to be real. It's a long-term thing. It's not like it's something
Yeah.
new. But Dr. Drew tells a story of a chick in California who was on like 3 milligrams of Xanax. I don't know whether she was taking it 3 times a day or whatever. Anyway, she gets a new girlfriend, and the girlfriend convinces her that this is not like that she shouldn't be taking these drugs. She should, like she needs to go natural and, like
Yeah.
vitamins and, fucking some chimney root or some bullshit. Anyway,
Echinacea. Yeah.
the chick fucking has a seizure on like the 405 or whatever that big highway is and causes like a 50-car pileup
Jesus.
and a thing because she stopped taking it. And I guess there what these people were doing was they had like doctors that weren't really like they could get a prescription, but they could only get it for so much. They were overdoing it and then going to Mexico and getting more,
Hmm.
and like the
Yeah, you can
doctor's
buy that
trying
at
to
CVS down
wean
there.
you down.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you get a
For,
wean off of those drugs for sure. Yeah.
hmm
But when you go to if you go to detox for alcohol, they give you benzos. That's what they do. That's how they
Right.
get you. And then they wean you off the benzos too. But it's easier to wean off because you can't drink in a rehab, but you can
They
take
don't want.
pills.
I have a I have a brother-in-law who has a wet brain, and I think it's either niacin or thiamine. Um, you can't. You're not because you're getting all your calories from alcohol. Um, your brain at some point just fries, and
Yeah.
it's like right up until the moment that happens, they can load you up. They can get you back, but
Yeah.
once you go past that, it's over. And this was a really smart guy, probably one of the smartest people I ever know. And now he just sits and watches TV and eats snacks all day long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. My brother in law's mom is going through that right now. Like they're like debating. I mean, I know what's wrong with her, but they're like, oh, she has dementia. I'm like, no, she's fucking alcohol induced dementia.
yeah, and it really is interesting though when you see people who are all fucked up and then they clean up, and it's like after a few months, it's like they start getting their faculties back, and um, everything changes.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. I'm not a you know I I'm sober, but I don't think everybody else has a problem like I did. Um, but given the choice, I would say if you can avoid it.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
That's what
so
happened to Lady Di. She basically got wet brain.
yeah, I can't remember. I used to think it was niacin, but I think it's thiamine. I can't remember. But that's what. So Bill W., the guy who founded AA,
Yeah.
um, he was like almost tossed out of AA because he started a business selling niacin or thiamine as a cure for alcoholism.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's a real this is a guy who he's what's the word that I'm looking for? Uh he's been knighted, sainted, whatever, but
Yeah.
he was
Friends
a
of
guy
Bill
who
W. Yeah.
could not fucking keep his pants he could not keep his fucking zipper up. He was nailing everything, and it got so bad that he was banging his wife's secretary, um, to the point where it got out of control. He wanted her to get like a retirement plan. He wanted AA to pay for her, like
Damn.
all this extra money. And she gets like, I think that it's like 17, he gets royalties on the book, or his estate, back when he
Yeah.
was alive. And they gave her, she gets royalties off the book from his end because of that. And
That's crazy. It should be a free service at this point.
did he schmule? He's a dirty. Uh, I don't know what you're saying there, ass gobbler. Um,
It's funny. I've known a few friends that they quit drinking and doing drugs, but then they just turned into complete sex addicts, and they're just cheating on their wives, fucking whatever, anything that walks, they go after. And I'd be like, what the fuck? What are you doing? A lot of people
uh,
replace one addiction with another.
I am lovingly married. Um, but that's the what do you
Ass
call it?
gobbler.
That's the thing with the bariatric surgery. The
Yep.
like sleeves and all that shit. They
Hmm.
make you do psychological things, but they find that it's like a really significant percentage of people who get that bariatric surgery then become alcoholics.
Or they just go right back to eating because they don't fix the root of the problem.
Right, and, and that's what's interesting about, like, this Ozempic and stuff, is that they find that people who like, all of their addictions are subsiding
Hmm.
while they're
Oh,
taking Ozempic.
really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
so there's hope for Joey C. Um, and
They
let's,
used to talk about. I remember this way before Ozempic. My dad was an alcoholic. He had issues. But they were. He never did it. But there was a drug you could take that would make you get physically sick if you drank. I always thought that was kind of weird too.
Antabuse. My
Is that what
mom
it
had
is?
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, uh from what I understand, I don't know that she ever did it, but from what I understand, and from having been to these 12-step meetings, um, there are people that would take that, still drink, still get physically sick, take it, still drink, still get physically sick. Like they just couldn't, no matter how bad it was, they couldn't put
Yeah.
the alcohol down.
My
So,
dad got sober. His new addiction was painting Bob Ross paintings. I mean, my house is full of them.
that's
That was,
very cool.
yeah, and I was fine with that. I mean, my dad wasn't the type of drunk that was abusive or anything. My dad was fun when he was drunk. He was fun when he wasn't drunk, but then when he quit drinking, he just started painting. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a meme that goes around is my uncle used to be the drunk at Thanksgiving, but now he's found Jesus, so we're into that.
Oh yeah,
And I just like I meet those guys, you
I
know.
bet. I
I meet
bet.
the ones that got religion, and you're like, oh, gee, just stop. That's what happened when I first started when I was getting sober. I decided I was going to go to 12 step, and there were people in there that told me, if I didn't pray every day, and if I didn't get down on my knees and thank God, and if I didn't find God, um, I was never going to stay sober. And I was just like, oh, they were just so fucking annoying. And by happenstance, I found Atheist AA, and luckily it'll be 9 years in October.
Congrats,
Stuart
man.
Jones, supertip.gg/Buckman. Yeah, and I don't really, I talk about me being sober, but there's got to be a way for, there's, it's not the only way. That's what these guys
Right,
like to say.
and you're
It,
not pushy about it either. Like you're not like you don't judge.
uh, I do, but
Maybe privately you
not
do, but
usually in public,
yeah.
and only to the wife. Um, all right, let's see what Art Bell says. I told Melton once, signed to his service, only a few unstable creators like Chad will dare roast him. Not just dollars. The Dabbleverse will see few Melton bashes. So, if I understand this, what you're saying is that Melton puts people from the Dabbleverse in so that they don't bash him. But I don't think so. They do a lot of stuff outside the Dabbleverse too, like uh, Dick Masterson. There's a bunch of people, Perry Caravello. A bunch of these guys have super tips. Um, and have a feeling that Melton enjoys, because most people that bash Melton are not as good as Melton is. So bash him, and he's going to bash back.
Well,
But
I mean, Red Bar I think is better than, if not the same. And he bashes him. He's not on super tips, but there
no,
are
but
some people that bash Melton that are better than. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I don't like. I don't have a. I didn't know who Red Bar was, um, and I only see him occasionally, and I find him hard to watch. But I have a feeling it might be like trying to watch Howard Stern now, as opposed to you know back when he was in the heyday. Um, but boy, Red Bar did seem like a hurt bitch the other night when he was complaining about the super tip thing and Melton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch Red Bar either, but he doesn't really do he does live shows, but you gotta pay to be on there, and I don't know. He's got his own system, I think.
Well, that's basically what he was getting pissed off at, is that um, people are making as much money on super tips as he's making by having people
Oh right.
sign up, and people are not signing up like for his stuff. But I guess he's so sporadic
I
that
saw that
maybe
clip. He was making fun of all these old ladies giving Melton money on top of charging them for membership.
yeah. I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody on YouTube. This is pre super tips, and they were talking about like with the super chats and stuff. The guy stopped doing it because he found out that like a lot of the people that were giving him money were like guys on disability,
Right.
and
I
and
mean, yeah, that makes
like, well,
sense. I mean, I don't care. I don't count people's money. God bless them. They're making a living, do what they love. That's good for them. I don't give
Yeah.
a shit about that. I never get why people care. That's a big part of the Dabbleverse is people counting other people's money. I don't
Well,
get that.
this guy wasn't counting, but in this particular case, this guy wasn't counting other people's money. He was it was him. He was because he was getting super chats
Yeah.
and stuff. And then the people who were sending him money were like talking to him, and they'd be like sending him things like, I know I haven't super chatted lately, but I'm waiting for my check to come in,
Yeah.
you know, shit like that, and that's why he felt bad.
Well, I mean,
Um,
to an extent, they're taking advantage of people, but not really, because no one's forcing you to pay. But there are people that just they want to see their name in lights, so they pay and they can see it, and then they're appreciated for what they're doing. There's a big
hey,
part of
look,
that. There's a big faction of that.
if they're not giving it to some guy on YouTube, they're going to be giving it to some,
Yeah,
prophetic pastor
yeah,
in Seattle. Art Bell, this is KB may join Milton Service to more easily compare his income with Team Shuley, and take home more cash, just a matter of time. Um, it- I think if that's pretty prescient, it's insightful because I really think that Kevin would love to join Super Tip, but he's had such hate for Melton and whatnot that he needs an excuse. And
yeah.
if the excuse is that he can now check on Shuley, not that I know how he's going to, because the numbers don't really go out to anybody, um, except for the leaderboard.
I think it
Uh,
is. It is kind of weird though. That people think that Melton's the only alternative to super chats when there's other services that do exactly the same. There's no AI voices and stuff, but like Stream Elements, you can get into that and not pay YouTube $1 and still get
right.
a better percentage. So I don't know. I don't
You,
know why Melton or KB doesn't do that. Honestly,
well, the super tip system with the AI voices um, is the easiest to use. It's the
do you have
least
any
complicated.
voices? AI
Um,
voices?
I do, yeah, I
Oh,
do. I have like 5 or 6. I have some that I want to do, but I haven't really been bothering anybody asking because I haven't been pushing it enough. I mean, soon it's gonna wind up being that's gonna happen. Um, but, uh, that we're gonna because it's good because the chatting is getting to be a lot of chatters that
yeah.
in kind of order to break out. And like I said, I set mine. The minimum I can charge for a super tip is $3, and that's what I have is the $3 thing. And I think like skipping the queue you can max out on, and I don't even know if I have that on. And my voice tips are the least expensive they can be. Um, but
Oh, I just looked. You got Chad, Kevin, Pat, Ray, and Shuley.
mhm.
Nice.
Right, and I have a couple of others that are going to be my own, but I will put them up there. But I haven't asked. I mean, some of the like I could get some of the other voices, but it's like I feel like look, I haven't really been using the ones that I have. Um, I don't want to waste your time, and you give me more that I just don't use. I don't I don't know if you know the Soft Weekly story about
Mm.
super tips. So
No. Oh yeah, I know who he is, but I don't know the story.
going after Melton. I need super tips. I need super tips. I need super tips. Like really, really bothering him. And Melton finally was like, "All right, here's the super tips." And he's had it forever and never collected a dime on it. Um, so
Well, does
that
he even
that
do a show? Does he even have a
I
show?
I don't know what he does anymore. Um,
Hmm.
the last I saw of it, he was so fucking hammered the last time I saw him on, um, that he could barely sit up in the chair. So
I always
I
thought
don't.
he was in a wheelchair until the longest time, and then he told me he wasn't. I was like, I was surprised. I wasn't confusing him with Quad either. I thought that guy was in a wheelchair or there was something wrong with him.
He was huge he was a big win by two guy. Like
Oh, he was a
they
co-host. That's how I heard of him. Yeah.
right, they were gonna they were, they were going to do all the stuff together and whatnot. But to be honest, I don't even ever hear about Win by Two anymore. I don't even know if he still does a show.
Yeah, no, I see him pop up here and there. I don't have anything against him. I think his show is just as good as any others. It's better than some, but I don't watch.
Yeah, I was not a fan because he was recording comedians. And he also, the show that Keanu and Gino and Chad did in Atlantic City a year and a half ago.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
he and Keanu was standing near the stage talking the entire time the show was going
ugh,
on, and it was like, it's a show.
yeah.
Um,
Shut the fuck
but
up, dude.
who knows? Maybe she was trying to keep him from recording Gino, but I think somebody did anyway, and that was awful. Um, but there,
I feel like Kiki is just a vapid, annoying. Ugh.
yeah, I dislike her. I don't know her personally, but I definitely dislike her, what she does on on
Yeah,
air
her
and that
shows
stuff.
stink.
And yeah, they do stink. And then, but the other part is, like, if you watch her with her mother,
Ugh.
you can see why she's the way she is. It's like, this is one of those kids that, like, oh, you're perfect the way you are,
Yeah,
you're, and it's like, I just, even with marrying Gino, who's so much older than her, right? Like, did anybody ever say, "Hey, man, maybe this isn't a good idea"? And I don't think so.
no.
Um, like, whatever she wants, this is what she gets, and
That
it's
right
been
there shows you she makes poor decisions in her life. Marrying Gino. I
right.
mean she's an attractive lady. She could do fucking 3,000 times better than that fucking weird looking old dude. I could understand a little bit more if if Gino was attractive, but here I am talking about men.
I don't even. Yeah, look, it's not his looks or anything. It's just the money thing, like the prospects and whatnot.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know.
yeah, I guess we're both commenting on shallow things. Maybe they have a deep love connection, but I just don't see it. I don't know how that could be. They both seem like shallow, like losers.
She doesn't seem like she doesn't seem like there's any intensity to her at all.
Mm-mm.
You know, that it's all that it is all surface level. And I've heard so many stories about her, um, and who she's been with and how many there are, and it's it it was it's basically, and look, I don't know if any of them are true, but it's almost like, oh well, she slept with the entire New York comedy community, and this is the one person that fell in love with her.
I
So
believe that. I mean, I would believe that about her. She seems like that type of person. But then actually maybe not because where is she gonna get on the ladder with Gino? How is that ever gonna help her career if that's what she's doing?
no, I don't think it was that. I think it was other stuff, but
Like Guru.
particularly
That was
the
funny what Guru said. Handsome lady.
yeah, handsome lady. I I thought Michelin would be funny. Um, like, I shouldn't say funny, but I I think on a show with the right person, like if Michelin did a show with Levy, I think that would be funny. I don't know why, but I think it would be funny. I'm gonna try this one and see what this one is.
Hey, where are you, David?
I just sent what do you call it? And of
Shut
course
up, Smule.
my favorite.
Shut
That's a
up, Smule.
He says your
Stalin
name
19 made that
funny.
for me.
Smule, like
Smule, Smule. Well,
there's
he
no
does hold
ch in
the.
it.
It's so funny. Even last night, he was holding the pen. It's so femme, you know.
He's very feminine. Yeah.
He looks like one of these, 1950s chick, Catherine Hepburn, kind of, or Audrey Hepburn. It just remind it breakfast at Tiffany's with it. All he needs is a cigarette holder.
Yeah, it's crazy how effeminate he is. But his whole shtick is like the Valley of Men. What? The Valley of Dolls, more like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. It's Granny talks about him, and it's like I try to avoid saying that shit, but Granny is like, he's just a closeted homosexual. He needs to come out. He'll have a better life, you know. And I thought it was pretty funny. Let me
Yeah, it's 2025, man. Just come out the box or the hole or the closet.
yeah, and where is David? I don't know. It's been strange because Dave is like normally on the phone with me, like almost every day I got a phone call from Dave, you know, just like, hey, what's up, Buckman? What's going on? And we'll talk for like 2 minutes and then that's it. And he was really into like streaming this week. Um, and then I don't hear
Nothing.
from him for 3 days.
Is that
So,
right?
yeah, but he does what happens is though is it's like I think it might just have to do with his life in California and being with the parents and that stuff. But he definitely is one of those guys that like stream. Like you'll see him on air almost 24/7 and then 2 weeks goes by and you don't see him at all.
Needs a break. Yeah, I've noticed that
And
too. He's sporadic. It's not. There's no consistency.
Dave's
But
not here, and man, go ahead.
no, that was funny. Dave's not here. Call back to Cheech and
Schmill is
Chong.
broadcast from a tomb in a graveyard. Um, Somebody on here named me the Grim Reaper's Reaper. Um, that I'll be reaping the Grim Reaper when it comes time, and I liked it. I laughed at it, and I put up a a thing about Ozzy this week where I said, I go, uh, slow week, so went for the low hanging fruit. Welcome aboard, Ozzy, or
Hmm.
something along those lines, and it got a few chuckles, but I was also surprised at how many people were, like, mad at me for saying something about Ozzy.
Yeah, yeah. That was it was a big week for celebrity deaths for sure. I mean, it's
The
kind of crazy.
the Hulk Hogan, um,
I kind of
you know
knew about Hogan though. I had heard like 2 weeks ago that he was on in the hospital on a ventilation or ventilator. And I said that on a show. I think I said it on BYB, and someone was like, "No, that's not true. He's fine. That was just Bubba talking shit." And then he's dead a week later. I'm like, oh, I guess it was right. I guess Bubba was right.
right, except that he was at home, right, when this happened, because there was a
Yeah,
911 call. I didn't listen to it, but I heard there was a 911 call.
yeah. There was video of him being taken out on the gurney, and the thing I was most shocked about was his house. That he's got that he made like what 300 million from Gawker, and he was living
Mhm.
in the house was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't. I thought he would be in a bigger house, not in just a neighborhood.
Yeah, I have no idea, and the Gawker thing, Peter Thiel financed that. So I don't know if they got their attorney fees or like I don't know how much of that 300 million
Yeah,
he got. And if he got 300 million, his attorney's got 100,
yeah,
then he got 200, and then depending upon how they paid him, depends upon whether it's taxed or not. Um, but I also imagine guys like him, uh, it's a thing that happens to people that get their money that's not there's no taxes withheld. They always owe a bunch of shit to the IRS.
yeah,
And
yeah. But I mean, still, even if he got 50 million at the end of the day, that house just it was the house is probably $3 or $4 million house easy. But I was just surprised. I always get surprised when I see people's houses that are super rich, and I'm like, what?
but
Yeah,
some
that's probably
yeah,
not rich.
and then there are times that you don't know, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there are times whatever. I'm here, so just hold on. I have to
yeah. Just me. I'll read the chat for a minute. Okay. You didn't want to do it, John.
Yeah, I didn't want to do a John and use my shirt, but I had to reach around and get it and I also don't think anybody needs to see me blowing my nose.
The
But
old reach around. The old
Mm.
the old rusty trombone.
Uh, hey man, a reach around is nothing wrong with a reach around every now
Yeah.
and then, right?
Just depending on who's doing the reaching.
All right. So let's because we don't want Brennan accusing us of doing 3-hour shows. Did you I don't remember the last time we did a show was a really long time ago. And then there's been a bunch of shows in between. And when Brennan had me on and was yelling at me, it was, you do a 3.5 hour show with Crumb. What is that? What is that? And it was like he was focused on that one thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think I texted you. I was like, we did 3 hours? Because honestly, I mean, I just looked at, we've been on for like 2 hours. It goes by so
mhm,
quick. We're just shooting the shit. It's fun, you know?
yeah. This is my
Um,
Saturday night. I don't really give a fuck what we talk about.
yeah.
Um, the rest of the week I try to keep them on topic. But I've been doing guests and we've been doing topics. So that's been different uh, for me. And it's funny because I realize how stupid I am sometimes.
Oh, yeah. We
Like
all do.
like I think I know something and then I don't. Um,
Right.
or I
Do
get
you
sent.
watch these shows after the fact? Do like you go back and watch it to see what you've,
I
you know?
listen I listen to about 60-70%. I don't watch them again, but I do listen to them.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll usually listen to them on like 1.25. But what amazes me is what people pick up from the shows. Like I'll make a stupid throwaway comment that I don't even remember, and that will be the thing that he said this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we know, and you're like,
You're like, what?
Nick. To give you an example, Nick and I were talking, and I said I had mentioned something about Adam Bush, and Adam really doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk about himself, right?
Yeah.
Like I wanted to ask him a bunch of questions about acting and stuff, and he really is more interested in like talking about the Dabbleverse and about other things than talking about himself. He's like, I'm boring and whatever.
Right.
And both Nick and I know this, and we just were talking about it. And somebody, and it literally lasted 10, it was like 10 seconds of this very long stream that we had. And that was what people hooked up on. Uh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's funny because they pick up on things that you would never think twice about, and then you're like, wait, what? Like I was on a BYB the other day or last week or whatever, and people like someone was just kept commenting about my beard and my mustache and my facial hair. I'm like, I don't even notice these things on anybody on a show. I don't get it. It's funny
yeah,
what people pick
I,
up on.
I got, oh, I was doing the Pat Dixon show, and I talked about, they were talking about Eileen Warnos,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, I was telling him that it was sad because it was like, uh, about Eileen Wuornos. She was like, and I said something like she was like hot as a kid or attractive as a kid or something like that.
oh right, right,
And I meant if you watch the movie, she's like, I don't know, 16 or 17. Um, and she learns that if she shows her tits, people will pay for that. And kind of that's where she gets into the like hooker stuff and
yeah,
whatnot. And it was also Charlize Theron who was 27 when she was playing it, and it's like he wants kids, he
yeah.
wants kids, and then and then Karmic is on there saying he likes him as young as 9, and you're just like, of all the
But
things that
then you get caught in the trap that if you try to explain that, then they it gets even worse. Because I saw it somewhere in a chat. You had someone said that about you, and you're like, no, you just misunderstood. But like, it's almost like they want you to keep commenting on that because it feeds into their delusion.
yeah. And so in the beginning I was like, you misunderstood, and then I'm like, look, if that's what you think I am, there's nothing I'm going to say or do
Yeah.
that's going to change it, so what's the point? Why bother? I have
Oh,
one guy, Jake.
I've fallen
Ryan
into that
asked.
trap a few times myself, dude. Because then I get into it. Then like they're like, "Oh, you're a pedophile," and then I have to, for some reason, make it sure that they know I'm not a pedophile. You know what I mean? Like you never win in the outcome.
Um, I have a sort of
That'll be
interesting Jesse.
clipped. What we just said, that whole fucking thing we just said, will be clipped, and people are gonna say
That's
that you like 9-year-olds and I'm a pedophile. Wait, see, I just did it again.
I know, but I'm so done with like I don't even at this point everybody is, right?
Right.
Like,
That's the
you know what
easy
I mean?
go-to to fuck with
So,
people.
well, because it's like it's when they have nothing else,
Yeah,
right?
context is out the window.
But that's what I've learned is that's the thing that they say. That's like Skarika saying that about Milton, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or Steel Toe. They can't fault the guy for like they can't match his talent.
right.
So this is we'll do this and we'll say, and it's the worst thing that you could possibly say about anybody. But now they say it about everybody.
Everybody. Yeah,
So it's like it has no meaning anymore. And that was originally with me. That was like where people said I was defending and ball washing Shuley, and I was like, no, I'm not ball washing Shuley. What I'm trying to say is when you keep saying what you keep saying over and over again, you make this horrible crime seem like less of a crime because we
yeah,
know you're not telling the truth. We know you're being disingenuous, for
yeah.
lack of a better.
And it's you can't really defend yourself. First of all, you don't have to defend yourself because it's just fucking weirdos saying shit. But then for some reason, people like us are like, no, let me clarify, and then you just get even more trouble about trying to
You
clarify.
Exactly. So it's
Yeah,
not even worth it's just it's not worth doing it. I mean,
yeah,
you could do it like we just sort of did, but
kinda. But that'll be taken out of context, and someone will say, "Oh, you hear Shmuel and Crumb are talking about how much they love
yeah.
kids." You know, Aussie guy has a great comment. I miss the great old
Uh,
days when everyone was a
hold on. I have to I don't oh, I miss the good old days when everyone was a fag. Yeah. See, but that's another thing, right? That was what it was before the pedo stuff,
mm-hmm.
right? And it's
or retard.
it was like you went after people for that, and then the people were like, "All right, I'm a fat, whatever.
Yeah.
Call me a fat, whatever. It
Right,
doesn't really,
right.
I don't care." So that didn't have an effect anymore. So then we jumped into this other thing,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
You can't say, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm a yeah
and then
anymore.
it's really hard to come up with content. So a bunch of it is just made up, right? And
Yeah,
not everybody is as good as Mersh in taking other people's stories and making them your own.
right.
But I want to put up Art Bell's comment real quick. Jesse and Red Bar have a complex rule system. Once you make a living streaming, they want memberships and merch, not even ads. So that's to most that's taking money off the table. Um, or I think the term is leaving money on the table,
Mm,
um, and not taking it. But I have like a funny thing. Jesse went after me on his show, right? And told his people to come after me. And uh, there were 31 comments, which was fine. I liked having the comments and stuff. But it was not like the old days, you know? It wasn't like this horde of people were coming after me, you
right.
know? It was 31 people, it was all one night, and, Jesse had said that I had looked like a member of the original Lemon Party,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And, I went with it, you know?
Right. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and when people started saying I was a ghoul, I put up the Nosferatu picture, the
Right.
vampire, and
But
then
you can't lean
Louis
into the PD file stuff.
you can't no, but
Yeah.
and what do you call it? But and I loved it because Luigi Granberg took it and put my face on it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I did the Dr. Pretorius. That doctor, I keep wanting to say Dr. Petraeus, but it's Dr. Pretorius from Bride of Frankenstein. He put my face on that too. It was great.
Yeah.
Um,
That throws them
the
off too if you lean into it. They get weird about it. I actually had it was on I think it was on Spurktopia VC the voice chat one time. Jesse and like 5 or 6 or 7 of his people were on there, and they were going after me, trying to bait me into say the N word. And to this day, I still don't know if it was because he does that. He'll put people on his show from a Discord voice chat, and they don't know it. He did that to what's his name? The fuck, can't remember his name. Comedy Shaman. They did that. They did that to him when they baited him into falling in love with the transsexual.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
I don't get
just
that guy either. I don't. I mean, a lot of people like the Jesse PS. I don't get. It.
so I don't get him either. Cigarette Jones talks about the pizza fund, and I saw a clip of Jesse PS on YouTube, and he was you couldn't watch anymore because it was the pizza fund. And to be honest, I'm not going to be signing up for a membership until I get to watch the show a little bit. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, and I also got to feel like their numbers have had to have gone down. Like they can't be making the money that they were making.
I don't
Um,
know. I don't know much about him. I don't. His show is whatever. I mean, he's got good production value. He looks cool. He's on a moon base, I guess, with a fan in the background. But that doesn't. That what bothers me about that is how do you have a fan that goes to like an exhaust fan in your moon base? Because you'd be dead, right?
yeah. But that's a all right, that's a personal so I have a personal bugaboo with that, but I don't know enough about him, but with other guys, like guys that super focus on their studio and not content,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
like Win by Two to
Yep.
me,
That's a
like
good example.
fantastic studio and everything else, but you're not really saying much. And I'm like, well, I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that everywhere. I did see Jesse PS, and I don't they got somebody arrested or they caught somebody was threatening people or whatever. Um, it was up on YouTube recently, and Jesse took off his glasses, and he was there, and it's like Mersh. They look so different
Mm-hmm.
without their glasses on. It's
Yeah.
like odd, you know?
Yeah, you get
And
used to seeing him, and he has a wonky eye probably too, like Mersh. I have a wonky eye. That's why I have glasses.
oh, he's got a. It was just. It's a. You have to go see it.
I'll
I don't
check
want
it
to
out.
denigrate the way somebody looks, but
No, no.
it
Oh,
is weird. Here we go.
hey, I'll
Um,
be right back. I'm gonna go use the
all right,
bathroom
cool.
since you got a third.
Hang on a second, Nick, because I gotta put you in. Oh no, I don't have to. Look at that. Do it.
Going on
Hey,
still?
cool. Let me do a plug here for Aussie. Um, the Aussie Guys show, guys, Sunday mornings at 9:30. If you don't get up that early, watch it in replay. It is probably one of the best shows in the Dabbleverse. It's certainly the most. I find it to be something I look forward to every week to watch. And Dean is a blast, and uh, he would. It's amazing. He would be running the place if he were in the United States, but the 12-hour time difference fucks him up. And so, but Dean, big ups to Dean. And Dean was one of those guys in the beginning, and I actually said this to Lemmy today, um, that it amazed me when I started streaming how many people that I respected, like watching their streams and learned to respect them and what they were doing, who offered me help, like out of the blue. And it wasn't cunty and it wasn't shitty. It was like real help. And in the beginning, I was supposed to do shows with Dave, and then Dave sort of flaked, and I was having to do them solo, and I was nervous, and I couldn't pull it off. And Ozzy told me about his experience having to do that, and I was like, "Oh, let me just plow through this, and eventually, um, I'll get it." And and I guess the word is finding your voice. Um, but I also think that's what happened with you, me, and JMO, right? Um, we were uh, we thought he was being trolled into this,
Yeah, yeah.
and that we were like, it was like we were trying to like offer like, if you want to do this, you're going to do this, but don't let these guys convince you that you're going to be making, you know, you're going to quit your job and be making tons of money. And we've seen Karmic with the cashing into the 401k. And then what happens? We become gatekeepers, which was
Yeah.
never the intention.
No, I had just seen like Chow. I could tell he was trying to do the same thing to Brandon Deft. When Brandon had a couple viral moments, when I love the dude, and he had a couple manic kind of moments that went viral. So they were trying to take advantage of that, and Brandon ended up taking a step back from the doubt. He's now back, but yeah. So it looked like, okay, Def turned it down. Let's start jacking this guy up, and it's nothing against him. I mean, I actually think J Mo, he's very well spoken, all that shit. It's just I could, I want him to realize that these guys are trolling you up, and I didn't know if he was involved in it or not. Like, but talking to the guy, yeah, he knows what's going on. So as long as he knows what's going on, that's all that matters. He can take things in
Right.
his own hands from there. So
Right. And the thing is that we don't see that side of the person.
yeah.
So and Chow, because Chow did the same thing to me.
Mm.
Like when Uh, I just the DMs and the how great you are and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, and they're just it's like they're just looking to troll you,
Yeah.
and they brought me on their show to troll me, and it went the other way, which was cool to me. Too bad nobody watches their show, but it it could have really helped. But there you go. Um,
That whole thing annoys me, and I've even taken part in one of those. Like, actually, Mr. Z and I were doing like a troll, but it was meant as a joke. Like he was trying to pump me up to all these other shows. Um, so like, so we could like bust Eccles balls and be like, Eccles, all your co-hosts are getting bigger than you and all this stuff. So it was just a joke. But so I was in on it. Mr. Z was in on it, but I didn't know if obviously when Chow and them do it, it's a different kind of troll. And yeah, I didn't know if J-Mo was in on it or not. Turns out he wasn't in on it, but he's not dumb, so he saw what they were doing. So
yeah,
yeah,
and that's the hard look. That's the hard part because you think like, I'm like, oh, they trolled me. Like I know what they were doing to me, and you're like, oh, I want to warn you, but he didn't need it.
yeah.
He's not Joey C.
Their problem is they lay it on too thick. Like you can troll people, but when all these guys are like, dude, you're the best, you're the greatest, holy like, oh, it's like, all right, dude, I know I'm not. Fuck off. You know what I mean? So obviously you're fucking trolling me. It's like they lay it on way too thick. So I don't know if anyone's fucking buying the shit anymore, but
I don't
whatever.
think anyone's buying Lil Mirror's bullshit because
Yeah.
he'll say that and then he'll like smile and smirk.
Yeah. Even with J-Mo the other night, he was pumping him up, and then he'll take little digs at him here and there and have little smirks. You know what I mean? Like thinking he's pulling. It's like, dude, he knows what you're doing. Haha. Good luck.
Well, Chow thinks he's like the God's gift to trolling. He's the best at it, you know.
I've like developed a relationship with Chow, like going back and forth, and he's not a bad guy, but he's a troll, you know, and but like I think once he starts to realize that you're not the person that he's going to pull this off with, um, then you can sort of talk to him
Yeah.
and whatnot. But
And
and it's interesting
I
'cause
first met him on
Mhm.
Discord, and like it's exactly what you just said. He was trying to troll everybody in that Discord.
This is the Aussie guy asking what's
Yeah.
the end game though,
That's
and
actually a great question. I never know what the fuck their end game is when they do this shit.
I
don't-
I
yeah, I don't-
is it that they want to see the guy fall on his face? That's what I assumed that it was.
Yeah, I guess eventually, but I don't know. I don't get the I don't have the troll mentality. I mean, we all have a little bit. Like obviously, I like to. Right now, I'm dealing with Joey C, and I'm acting like the dude's actually running for president. You know what I mean? When when really
Right.
like whatever the fuck he's doing, you know. So I'm like, Joey, come on my political show. Like that's as far as my trolling goes. But I would ask him real questions, but I'm not gonna sit there and pretend that I actually think this is a fucking real thing he's doing. But when these guys pump these guys up, I'm like, I guess they want to embarrass them at some point, or see if they just think that they're the shit, and then all of a sudden they fall on their faces at one point, like you said, Shmuel. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't get it.
I got
I,
the
yeah.
feeling with me that it was they wanted to pump me up. They wanted me to be like buds, and then they wanted me to come on their show where I embarrassed myself. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, 1 second, guys. CJ, if you need to bail out, feel free. I don't want to force you to stay here, but Cigarette Jones, yeah, we could use a super tip or two, guys. I would really appreciate that. Supertip.gg/Buckman. And if you can't do that, hit the like button. And also too, I tomorrow morning we'll put this up. I'll put up a thing on Twitter, and we'll talk about rewatching it. So if you watch and if you comment, that would also be really appreciated as well. And I I'm look, I'm always shocked when I look up. I'm 25 viewers now, and I'm like, I can't believe there are 25 people that
Yeah.
are willing to sit through 2 hours and 40 minutes of Crumb and I talking and bringing in OG. Um, and I don't like to do long shows, but uh, on a Saturday night, I'm not really going to complain.
Yeah, it's fun. We're just fucking bullshitting,
it,
basically. It's fun
it's
for people
funny,
to
man.
watch.
Like I'm still like, I hit double digits 15, and I'm all excited. But I remember like the first like few streams, like you're like, okay, hopefully like you're literally watching zero. Oh, two people are here, and you're like psyched that fucking two people are watching, because you're like, hope somebody shows up. So yeah, thank God.
Uh, I I was laughing the other day because I was stuck at 298 subscribers for like forever. It felt like it probably wasn't that long, but it felt like it was forever. And it was 303, and I went to show the wife and again go, can you believe there's 303 people that have subscribed to my show? And it was 302. And I was like, who's the fucker that unsubscribed? Who
I
unsubscribes?
I've had that happen a few. Like I'll go on these little okay, gain couple here, couple there, and then I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but twice I've lost like three or four, like in one lot, and I'm like, one time I criticized something with Kumia, and I'm like, all right, I'm guessing people didn't like that. And then when I went on BYB last week, I lost 4 subscribers and then gained one back, so I guess I'm -3. And then I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Obviously, Quad's audience isn't gonna like the one of the only liberals in the Dabbleverse, so I'm not gonna gain any of them. And then he's kind of a character that some people don't like, so I don't know if I lost people because I went on, or if it's just all coincidence. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? But
Yeah.
it's weird.
No,
I
you
I
are one of the few liberals in a very heavily conservative.
Yeah, I know I'm
Dabbleverse.
never. I'm besides not being very good at this, I know I'm not gonna gain a lot with that way either. But like talking to people, they get to know, not bad. They're not bad. We don't try and judge each other and that sort of thing.
Right.
But
I always laugh because I get the a panhandler particularly is like calls me a commie, like a liberal commie,
yeah,
and and that goes on, and it's funny because you can't answer these people, and I'm allowed to have differing opinions, and then when you Ava and I were having our brouhaha that on the stream that night.
yeah.
um, so let's say that I got, just picking a number, I got 10 DMs, right? Um, and out of the 10, 5 were like, "Ah, that was great. You guys going to," and they liked you and Ava, and the other 5 are like, "Don't ever have those fucking people on again," you know?
Yep.
and
A
it,
bro hang.
it it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's hilarious is so I guess Ava fucks guys. No, girls.
Girls. Yeah.
Girls. So Ava's trans but fucks girls. And I made a comment like I had no idea what was I was very confused because then I heard one day that she was really it was she'd always been a chick, something like that, whatever. And I made a comment. And somebody just got really, really upset for me. Um at me, I should say, for like, she's just trans. Why can't you just get over trans people? And I'm like, that wasn't what I was saying, you know? But
Yeah, I mean,
uh
I don't get that at all. But you know, whatever. I don't give a fuck what people do in their own bodies, their own fucking place.
well, yeah, my thing is I don't want kids experimented on. That's my big thing. So if you're 18 or over and you want to do anything, um, so Sigurd Jones, would you describe yourself as a centrist? I don't even know that there are any more centrists. I like to think of myself more as a historian. Um, and I'm older, so I lived through the time of the Soviet Union and what those people like the the empty stores and the miserable lives that people led. And I've watched the socialists that have come out in our world, and they're places like Venezuela, and you know a lot of people from there, and it's like, um, so I'm like, well, I don't think what you're saying, what you want to do is going to work. But I also don't think that there's enough thought that goes like it's great to have a talking point and a headline, but how do you actually do it? Always seems to be the problem for me. And
Yeah.
I don't think you can trust anybody. Like I'm pretty much, but that's like the weird world, right? Like I grew up in a world of you don't trust the government, like you don't trust the FBI, and but from a leftist point, I mean, I was like a New Democratic Coalition guy back in the day, and then like then the virus came, and all of a sudden, all the people that I knew that didn't trust the government were now like, no, the government is, they were trusting the government,
Yeah.
and it blew me away.
I always thought you were more of a left leaning guy until I started talking to you and listening to your I don't know why in my mind I just think a lot of people from New England or New York, that area, just they must be fucking Democrats. You know, that's just
But
my own bias.
I think I'm a lot more left than Nick would give me credit for. Um,
No,
but
I agree, Smil. Yeah.
but I
I don't even know what. Oh, sorry, Smil. Go on.
oh no, go, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't like. I even don't even like calling myself a liberal because I don't even know what these words. They change so much. I don't like. I think people think Democrat when they hear liberal, and I
Yeah.
fucking hate the fucking Democrats. I don't trust the government. I don't like either party. I just, you know, I'm actually way more in the economic issues, but socially, yeah, I'm liberal. I'm all for gay marriage. I'm all for So I just say I'm liberal,
Well,
but
like
I don't even know what that means anymore.
I'm technically, if you were to pigeonhole me into a definition, I'm more conservative, but I have very liberal thoughts. Like I me personally, I'm pro life personally for me and my family, but I don't give a fuck what anyone else does. You know what I mean? Like that's not
Yeah.
for me to decide or judge. Like I might judge you. I might say that I will judge you, but I'm not gonna. I think you should
Try
have a
and
choice to do it
stop
yourself.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not fucking
Yeah.
God. I'm not your maker. You have to. I'm
I,
not judging you in the end.
right, like look, I'm like one of these guys that thinks, definitely not anti-abortion, but um, don't also tell me that that's not a life that's in your womb, and so it's like, to me, you do it. I don't want to stop you from doing it. It's fine, but I I don't think it should be a method of birth control, like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
method of birth control, But I'm also like with the abortion, to me, like the abortionists or anti-abortion side. when you had like, what is it, Plan B? The morning after pill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, how could you possibly be against that? You know.
Right.
But I also
Yeah.
right.
It's
But
it's
I
such a
can.
personal thing to me. It's like why like kind of I agree with you. Me personally, I would never be with someone that would be their form of birth control. Like I wouldn't involve myself or get into that situation where there would be abortions on the table. You know what I mean? Like cuz to me I think it is murder, but that's just me. I'm not you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know that it rises to the level of murder, but I just I'm in that thing of like it shouldn't be commonplace either,
No. I'm
right?
also
Like
against the
that.
death penalty though. Like that's not a conservative standpoint. Everyone loves the death penalty. But to me that's murder as well. If the
You
state does it or anyone else does it, that's still murder.
you know
Killing
what's
life
funny?
is precious.
I've
That's all.
Yeah,
changed
I'm
my
not at all against the death penalty. Go ahead, Nick.
I
I was
am.
just gonna say, like, I changed my mind on that. Like, I used to be, usually it's the other way around. I was pro death penalty as a teen. I remember writing a paper in high school. We had to pick, um, your opinion on something and do a research paper to back up your opinion. So I ended up with capital punishment, and I was for it. And now as I got older, I'm against it. And I'm not saying like these guys, yeah, they're a scumbags. They don't really deserve to live. But number one, I'm with you. Like having the government kill people is fucking fucked up
Yeah.
to me. And
Because
number two, when you find out, not that it's a high number, but we have the innocent people that have been killed that we now know because of DNA. It's like
mhm.
you can't reverse like something like that. So put them in
No.
jail, and at least if we figure out they're innocent, you can let them go. So
Exactly. That's my point. Is that just one innocent person killed by the state because like you said, DNA or whatever. That's one too many. Because there's definitely people that are innocent that have been on
yep.
death penalties. To me,
I,
it's like our system is so fucked up to think that 12 people, your hands are in the life of 12 fucking jurors that are probably crackheads. You know?
well, here's my I want to say something about that Cigarette Jones puts up. I'm socially liberal, economically conservative. That is how I've always thought of myself. Um, but that apparently doesn't survive in the current environment.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the deal. Like you you can't be that way because if you're conservative economically, then you want to you want to keep poor people down. Um, and what I think it is just we want to achieve the same goal. We have just a different method of doing it.
See,
Um,
I there's like I'm dumb by the way. First off, but there's socialist countries. I think that their way of life and their everything is so much better than ours. There's a lot of countries that they're socialist, right? Like Australia for one, or a lot of European countries. Their quality of life is so much better than ours. So
well, yeah, but the part of the problem with that is you have a homogeneous society in most of those places, right?
yeah,
You, like you take Northern Europe. The Netherlands makes so much money off of its oil and the natural resources that it has. You can do it. You mean
right.
you can be socialist.
We could do
Um,
that here though, and then
you
people will say we have too many people here, but we have a big country.
but we also have but that's the part of the problem is it's not just us having a big country, but we have people the values of our society are so different from
Yeah.
place to place to place. So you'll have people in New York that want to scam the system, um, and there's like thousands of them,
Yeah.
and or hundreds of thousands of them. It's just it's such a drain on the
So we
system.
we all have to suffer though because some people can't figure it out. You know, I mean,
Well,
like natural resources, right? You said oil, for example. Our country could be oil rich if we were allowed to drill and get it, but like we have so many regulations that and then there's people protesting for the birds or whatever.
right, but you get my this is one of my big things is like people love that we're not doing steel in Pennsylvania anymore or oil in these places, um, but they're perfectly happy to have it done in Bangladesh
Right.
or India
Yeah.
or those places, and that's the
Let
part that
Yeah, let the people mine
bothers me.
the fucking precious minerals in Africa. Who cares about them as long as we get our cell phones? But we couldn't do that here because yeah,
Right, because it's gonna destroy our beauty, but it's perfectly okay for it to happen someplace else, you know? Or we can be here and complain about, low wages and all that other stuff, but, um, if you raise the prices of clothes to ensure that people had a livable wage, everybody would be freaking out,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's because
So
the billion they want too much money. So, I don't know what we can do, man. They want like I was actually agreeing a lot with what Crumb says, and unfortunately, we're practically an oligarchy at this point. So the top fucking people they want all the money, and until they're willing to take less, we're fucked. And like we even have that shit here when you talk about like not in my backyard. Like if you guys remember, some years ago, it's called Standing Rock. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, there was they were drilling they're running a
yeah.
pipeline
The
through
pipeline. Yeah,
Native American land there. That was originally supposed to go through a different spot up there in North Dakota, but the people up there voted they didn't want that running through their area, so they ran it through the so they wanted the pipeline but didn't want it going through their residential area, so let's run it through the Native American land and then it leaks and blah blah blah.
right.
So yeah, even it's not just I don't want it in this country, it's like I don't want this in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
Send it like 50 miles down the fucking road and let them fucking deal
right,
with it.
it's a
but
lot of
even
not in
but
my backyard kind of
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
right, but even but the thing is too is that, for the Native Americans, most of them, the majority of them wanted it, and they would like it through their, go they would like it going through they wouldn't mind it going through their land because of the money that they make off it, but, that's not the voice. It's like it's not the voice that gets heard. But
mm,
Aussie guy, I wanted to because you brought this up, Crumb, and I just really it's I know quite a bit about Australia, and he says Australians are not prospering from their resources the way we should be. We just bent over for China, and
yeah,
I was there when I think Morrison was elected. And first of all, it's a very liberal country compared to ours, right? Um, in what Nick, in the Nick liberal thing. And one of the things I kept remembering or remember from that time was Australia's got a huge mining industry, and it tends to be in places that nobody would want to live anyway.
yeah.
But
They got a lot of open
they
land.
still want to stop it, still
Oh
want to
yeah,
keep people from doing it, a- and countries like us, at some point the bill is going to come due, right? Like if somebody said to the U.S., "You got to pay what you owe us," we're calling your debt, so to speak. Um, the we can't pay it, and so really all we're doing is we're kicking the can down the road.
that's
So
what we do here though.
right, exactly, but it's also
But
it's
we
a
don't.
much
My point
it's a
was
much
I didn't mean Australia in the sense of the natural resources. I just meant in like socialist where your healthcare is free or cheap and you can go to school on the country's dime. We don't have any of that shit, and we're all broke paying for college. When I don't know that type of stuff. I meant
Yeah.
socialism wise.
Crumb,
I have
you're
a
right. Oh, sorry.
wait, can I ask a
Yeah.
question? Because you have Aussie guy here. We're going to ask. I don't think healthcare is free in Australia. Am I
It's
wrong,
I
Aussie
don't know if
guy?
it's free. Nothing's free really when you think of it, but it's a and then the argument is, well, you got to wait forever for the doctor. My grandmother's from Australia. I got a lot of Australian relatives. They
Hmm.
all have college degrees with no debt. That's basically what I'm kind of saying. Like, why is our country? I mean, I get it. I understand why our country is as it is, but we're falling. Our education system is awful. So, what works better? I don't know.
So, and what I'm going to say to you is that our education system is fantastic for some people and
Yeah,
horrible for others. Um, the Aussie guy, it depends what is being treated.
Yeah.
To
No, we
go
have better
back to
health care for sure. I mean, people come to our country to get certain things taken care of, and we do have the best health care. But you're gonna go broke if you have cancer. You're gonna be broke if you don't have good insurance, and then they
well,
will deny you.
but you don't. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've always paid. Like to me, paying for health insurance was like paying for rent or paying for a mortgage. It was an obligation. It was something I did, right? And I've never been denied. I mean, I've had to go through things, but I've never been denied any of the care that I've gotten. But
I have.
I also pay more for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You
it's
pay
like
more for it. Yeah.
but I don't think the solution is to ask the government to do it because I think if you're getting fucked now, wait till the government runs it, you
No, yeah,
know?
no. It's definitely a balance. We do have a better system because we do pay for it, but there should be there shouldn't. I don't know. For example, in my town, I can't really say because I'll get too personal, so I don't want to dox myself. Never
Right.
mind.
And I think also too, I'm asking the question, I think Australia, if I remember correctly, they have something, their retirement system, they don't call it Social Security. I believe it's called superannuation. Um, and I think it's a government and private system. Like
Yeah,
you can choose where to make investments and stuff, and we don't do that here.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
and
not
that's
saying theirs is better. I'm not saying ours is worse. I just feel like there should be like a hybrid of it. I don't know.
right.
I think
But
our government's fucked. If you, this is a bad example, but that Congressman George Soros, or not George Soros, the guy from
Santos,
Santos, he was on Tucker Carlson a couple weeks ago, and he basically said what I've always thought, or I suspected, is our Congress is just a fucking high school. They don't give a fuck about us. They're all more concerned about how much money they can make for themselves. They don't do anything. They toe the party line. Nothing gets done. And I mean, we can see that, you know?
yeah. And one of the things though about this country that is not like other countries, and this is what's happening in those socialized countries in Northern Europe, um, immigration is changing the entire face of
That
all
too.
these things.
Yeah.
And in the US, we've always taken in way more than our fair share
Hmm.
of poor people and what whatnot. But my Aussie guys, this is superannuation, I believe is what it's called, and it's like um, you have to put money you put your money in, you have to put in Social Security, but you have to invest a certain amount of your payroll. Like there's a minimum amount that you have to give. In the US, it's like 15.3%. So you have to put that into the government program. I think it's higher there. I could be wrong. I think it's higher there, but you have a choice about where it could go. Um,
It's like,
so,
I'm sorry.
and that makes sense because if you're young, you should be willing to take more risk than when you're old. Um,
It's like, our Social Security. We all pay it when we get paid here, right? Everyone, they just take it out right away. And they've been telling me my entire life that's going to be broke by the time I get to it, right? And even if I did go on Social Security right now, I couldn't live off that. You still have to get a job. You can't live off of that in our country, but we all have to pay it. It's like we're forced to do it, but we don't. I don't know. Like I
yeah,
said,
but I mean,
I'm dumb.
and the system is fucked up. Like
Yeah.
for me owning a business, um, the advantage to these plans is that they're pre-tax dollars, right? So if I collect $1,000 and I'm taxed at 50%, right? The money that I'm putting in is the money after the 50%, not before. Not talking about Social Security, but like investing and stuff. And in a lot of places, it's like um, Well, the money that you're putting into these plans is not taxed. That's what happens like with a 401k and they have matching funds. But owning a small business, I can tell you, when I've had up to 15 employees, the rules were so ridiculous for a small company. You can't help your people if you want to,
Right.
and but in any event,
You
it's just
obviously know way more about this than I, but my thoughts are like sometimes I realize I'm like, no, whatever.
Crumb,
Stupid.
you're not far off. I actually, this is gonna sound stupid, but I actually think we have patriotism is almost a problem in this country. In that not the that we're almost too proud to be American, that we're not we ignore what's wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, like every year they do a it's like a survey investigation thing, whatever, the happiest countries in the world. And we're never near the top. It's always the socialized countries. It's always the Nordic countries, the European countries, Australia, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if we're the greatest country in the world, why don't we get the healthcare they got? Why don't we get what all the shit that they get? But because we're like America number one, we just act like we're number one, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, let's become number one,
well,
But
yeah.
It's funny
But
you
those
say that.
coun-
I was about to
those
say that
countries. Go ahead.
I
I'm
still
sorry.
love America. Don't get me wrong. I love America because you have to almost say that. Like if I say like, well, they're doing it better than I do or we do, then I sound like I'm anti-American, and then they'll be
Right.
like, oh, you fucking commie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, there's a
Broken.
significant. None of those. But this is the deal. None of those countries are paying for the numbers of poor people that come walking through the door here. But you also
Right.
have other things like in the Netherlands, Holland, right? Um, you take a test when you're about 14 years old, and then that test decides your future. It's not so if you want to get something, you have to give up something. So
Yeah.
you give up freedom. So in the end, your life is probably going to be better. But if you want to be a doctor and the system says no, you can't be, you're not going to be.
Right.
Um, and
No,
that's
you hit on something too. Is that we do let too many people in? Because if you try to immigrate to any EU country, you're not going to get in. As an American, no way. They're going to say fuck you. Like you can't go, but they can come here and become American citizens.
not Europeans,
Well,
but
yeah.
you can, and our laws don't send people back. But this is and
Well,
so
now we
we
do.
got to
We shut the border off, right? Isn't that what Trump did?
yeah.
He said
Well,
that
we got to
I think yesterday.
yeah.
We're not letting them in
We have to
anymore.
we have to revisit this in 10 years because what's happening is those countries like the northern European countries that we all love so much are now faced with this huge uh, migration from Africa and the Middle East and places like that, and it's tearing their budgets apart.
Yeah.
Because in the past, you had families, right? So if I'm a bum and I'm in one of those countries, um, they're gonna debum me.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna make me work a little bit, and we don't do that. We don't do any of the things here that they do there, and so it's comparison is not fair, and it's also that they're very small. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, like these many of these countries are smaller than our states,
Yeah.
and
Maybe we should break up and become just individual states, you know?
well, and another thing in Australia, it's a true federal system, right? So their federal government is weak compared to their state governments. Um, so it's all it's a whole it's such a different universe. But in
It's above
Australia,
my pay grade.
they
Yeah.
fine you for fucking everything. There's a rule for everything, you know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Um,
I don't want to live in any of those other states or countries. I'd like to visit them, and I have, but I would never move there.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. But we look, the problem here is that for me, what I see, and this is what was talked about when I was a kid, where they talk about like gentrification, where these people with money move into neighborhoods, and basically what they're doing is they're pushing out the poorer people, and where are these people going to go? and then they wind up in shittier housing, farther away from the city center, less opportunity to work, like on and on and on. And like a New York City housing project is one of the scariest places you've ever been in your life,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And but in
I
any event,
just
we're not
feel
going to
like
stop.
we live in like a facade. It's gonna crumble soon. Hopefully not in my lifetime or my kid's lifetime, but I feel like it's gonna eventually fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, look, but I think you're going to see the world fall apart. But we've also been
Mm.
like, we have so much money in most of the European countries. We've been providing their defense since the end of World
Yeah.
War II, and they're supposed to be paying like 5% of GDP. They pick a number they're supposed to do, and none of them have spent the money that they're supposed to have, but we keep spending it.
Yeah,
We,
I'm an
keep providing.
isolationist, man. I feel like we have a fucking base in every country in the world practically. Take them all home. Fucking stop spending that money. Build the wall. Put the money back in our country. Like
So
fuck them.
here's the problem, and this is where like I actually agree with having all these bases. Like it's ridiculous where we have some of these fucking bases, but the military industrial complex, that's how they make their money building it.
Yep.
So like that's what I mean. That's why this greed just I think something's gonna give too eventually, because I think like they just keep getting greedier and greedier, and as people get less and less, even the upper middle class, yeah, they're still getting by, but everyone has practically everyone is with inflation and greenflation, whatever you want to call it, things have gotten tougher and tougher. So there's like no signs of stopping with this fucking greed. So I think at some point it's all gonna fall in on itself, or people are gonna rise up or something. But this
Yeah.
isn't sustainable. What's going on right now?
Well, we could
No,
never rise up against our military or our
Yeah.
government because the police departments have fucking tanks.
Right. I just mean like the
Yeah, yeah,
protests would they like people that normally would never protest will be out in the streets protesting, and they're like, all right,
yeah.
they're not worried. We
Well,
got to do something.
yeah, you're right.
my work life and my home life are so different in that um, my home life is all people with kids who went to great schools, who went to great colleges. I've got a niece in Notre Dame, and they go to Michigan and Marist, and these really good schools and get really good jobs and stuff like that. And my work in New York is kids who go to high school, can't do math when they graduate because they've kicked the can down the road. And it's like, oh, let's send them to college. And then we're either saddling them with debt, or we're saddling the states and the federal government with debt. And nobody's auditing anybody, right? We should really be wondering, like, why is a college professor getting paid $400,000 a year? You
Yeah.
know, so, but there's a lot of, and this is something we've been doing since the end of World War II, is just kicking the can down the road.
I think a big part of the problem is that we have career politicians. Like we need term limits. We need it to be a citizen government instead of what it is now. Because even when people that they have the best intentions, they get there and then they realize, oh shit, I can do nothing, make tons of money on insider trading, and get
Yeah.
paid $200,000 a year to fucking. And then you hear stories like that Santos guy saying, Congress is basically a bunch of fucking. It's a high school mentality. It's a popularity contest, and then half the time they're all drunk. They're not even voting. They have someone else vote for them. No one pays attention because they just see that so and so voted. Oh, he was there. He wasn't even there. They got someone else to do it. It's all fake. We're more concerned about fucking when's the new Marvel movie coming out,
Right, there's not many.
which I saw yesterday. Fantastic Four was great.
Oh, okay, cool. The cost of living crisis is everywhere, not sustainable. There's not many stay-at-home parents anymore. Both parents need to work to pay all their bills.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of one of the, right? Isn't that one of the greatest scams that's been pulled on people, that we need to get women out of the home? And
You know what's funny, dude? I'm actually a stay at home dad. My wife is the money maker, and my kids are old enough now where I'm getting back into the workforce, and it's hard to do that, especially as a man with 7 to 8 years with no work history. And they're like, "What were you doing for those 7 or 8 years?" I was a stay at home dad. Well, what the fuck, you loser?
Right,
It's like, okay.
and that's what women were going through. But the problem then is like if there's no parent at home, right?
I wasn't
Then
having a fucking daycare raise my kids.
right, and then the government is raising your kids, and you wind up in a place like New York, and where uh, the teachers, the schools, it's all about how much the teachers are getting paid and what they're doing. It's like nobody focuses on the kids, and
Mm-mm.
we just don't care. Um,
Yeah,
and
my
then
kids were in private school up until my son last year. He went to for the first time ever went to public school in high school, and I mean that was a choice we had too. Is I wanted my kids to have a little diversity, get out of the public or the private school to see what the
right,
real world's like.
and Cigarette Jones brings up something that's really interesting, and this is happening all over, right? So birth rates worldwide have declined, but more significantly in places like Europe, and um, that's where the immigrants are moving into, and the it, it it's going to be amazing uh, what you're going to see because the money is going to just dry up fast, and you're not going to be able to spend it because it's like in our country, right? We have our politicians can be so different than each other. You can have uh, oh, what the hell is the guy's name from Kentucky? You can have Mitch McConnell and an Adam Schiff who are
Yeah.
polar opposites, but when you go to like Germany or any of the other countries is like they're so close to each other. It's like they disagree, but it's at the margins, you know. Um, so
And they have more than two parties, right? Like most of them have a couple parties.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm also, but I am definitely not a fan of term limits because I've seen what it's done to New York. Like you lose institutional knowledge, and whoever figures out the system winds up being in control. And uh, that's what's happened. That's what's really happened to the New York City Council, you know. And
Well,
look, and that's after San Francisco did essentially the same thing
let me ask you a dumb question then. Why is the executive branch have term limits?
because of Roosevelt.
No, but I'm saying like so like
That's the
senators
well,
can serve for 60
Yeah,
years,
that
right?
is he's not wrong. That is the reason that
No, yeah, yeah.
Roosevelt kept winning, so they were Republicans weren't happy about that. So
right, and because the up until Roosevelt, um, the standard for a president was 2 terms. Like you didn't need a law because nobody was going to do it. But Roosevelt thought he was a king, and just kept, he was kept going. And
Well,
I
the
had a
war I think helped him in that too.
I had a history professor once who said the funniest thing about that law is that Eisenhower was a guy who apparently could have been president for as long as he wanted to be, um, but they had changed the law because of FDR. Eisenhower eventually and the law was changed during Eisenhower, and it's like the Republicans kind of fucked themselves. But we don't want a king, and that was really like or a dictator, and that really
Yeah,
was
no,
what was happening with Roosevelt.
I
And
get that,
if
but
we
you
think,
were just saying like term limits are bad because of your experience, but
well,
like
I'm talking about in New York City, and I'm
oh,
talking about like city councils and Congress and things. I shouldn't say. Let me clarify. I don't think term limits are bad, but I think a two-term senator, uh, if you make it 20 years, I'll be fine with that, or 15 years, or something, a really decent amount of time. But 8 years is not enough.
well maybe like an age limit then because we've got a lot like who's that there's a Republican senator who's been there for what 60, 70 years. He's like 90 years old. I forget his name.
yeah, I know
Like
you're
does he
talking
is he
about.
really in
Charles
touch?
Grassley.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
Chuck Ross. No, he's
Is
yeah.
he in touch with his constituents? Does he have a grasp on what's going on, really? Maybe there's
But
an
if
age
we
limit.
But if we believe the system, then we're saying that individual members of that state voted for that guy. So should they be banned from voting for who they want to vote for?
What we need to do is get
'Cause
money
I don't
out
have
of
the answers.
fucking
I'm just asking questions.
yeah. We need to get money out of politics because, like, if you look at this stuff, the person that spends the most, like 99% of the time, that's the person that wins. Like the reason AOC
Mhm.
became like this phenomenon is because she was, she took out a fucking institution. This guy had been here fucking forever, fucking millions spent, and like she raised way less. So when the person that raises the most money wins, that means like those are the people funded by the super PACs, by the billionaires. So they're gonna do what they want, what the rich people want. So that's why this fucking sucks. That's what these guys do. If somehow
Yeah,
we can
it's
get it so they can get some
right.
real candidates out there that actually represent the fucking people. But
I,
Yeah.
I, I don't disagree with you, Nick. The problem is with that, like with the money, is if you're gonna stop the money, you got to stop all of the money because what happens is um, you wind up with like government employees unions are huge spenders on elections and they elect a lot of the people. So you have the people who have a different interest, federal, state, whatever employees, whose interest is in keeping the money flowing to the government so they get more. And so their interests are as evil, essentially, as the corporations that want to put people in that are going to do what they want to do. And that's kind of the problem. And you don't, and that's where we don't stop it. But we have a scandal going on here in New Jersey right now, which is the teachers union spent, I don't know if it's 40 million or whatever, but um, I don't think it's four. I think it's really 40 million. The teachers union spent $40 million to try to get this guy Spanos elected as the governor in the most recent primary, and the guy came in like last, like dead last. And imagine you're a teacher and you find out all your union dues are going to this guy, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so, but
Don't
yeah,
don't
and there's also,
Jersey
a
teachers
lot of
make?
things.
They have one of the best union like pay in the country. I think.
Well, New Jersey government employees are some of the best, have the best retirement plans, are some of the best paid, and um, their plans are all unfunded. That's the other part. Like we pay them, but they borrowed money to do it, so we're just servicing the debt. It's like, and then when they talk about balanced budgets, it's like, you know, um, you have $200,000 on your credit card, but you're meeting your monthly payment, so your budget is balanced. But we're ignoring the 200,000 that you owe. So,
Right.
but Joey Catalano is going to fix all this. So
yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait for my interview if I ever get it.
Yeah. So what's going on that front? Did he say yes or no or what?
Oh, so yeah, I've asked like we were even supposed to do something before Mike, shitty internet provider, faked his death there, and that it just kept getting kicked down the fucking road. And then, I was fine with it. I didn't really care. But when Joey's gonna run for president, and I'm like, all right, dude. Well, I got the political show in the Dabbleverse. Let's fucking go. And I keep getting yes, but not, when we're ready, blah blah blah. And if you guys watch Echo tomorrow, you'll see something. I stumbled upon something that Joey probably wanted to know, but he didn't want to get a hold of me, so it'll get released. But it's nothing like bombshell, but like I think I think it's no surprise that Joey doesn't know everything that he's doing running for president, and without even looking, I found something that's not some illegal shit that he's doing without even, and I totally believe it's an accident, but he didn't want to talk to me, so there you go.
Yeah. He probably can't answer any
Yeah.
questions you have for him if they're serious.
No, oh my god, I shouldn't even say it, but yeah, I was gonna I'm just asking about policies, this and that, blah blah blah, and then yeah, I mean, did you guys see his video he put out, like his campaign video on YouTube or
yeah,
whatever? Yeah, clearly, AI wrote it or whatever, but Joey couldn't even fucking read it or pronounce the shit that he's gonna do. It's so, I don't know. This is one of his weirder trolls, weirder scams, because I truly believe he's registered. I really think he did. He showed an email from the FEC and now he's literally like taking donations from one of those fucking apps and shit.
Someone probably told him like, "Hey, you'll get viral if you do this," and he's like, "All right, let's go."
This is, to me, this is just another Joey gimmick,
Yeah.
and the problem. Well, Joey was telling me that he was a you know, I don't know if you saw the show the other night, but where we had the fight, where Joey and I were like, they came on, they brought Joey on to like kind of sandbag me, and I went after him, but it's typical Joey. He never finishes anything,
Right.
right?
You're right.
He
Absolutely.
sta-
Yeah.
he starts something, and it's the greatest idea in the world, and I think he really believes he's a success,
Yeah, he
but
does.
you're not. The thing that I think Nick is pointing out here is it's one thing to grift off hurricane money from dabblers,
Yeah.
um, but it's something completely different when you're dealing with the federal government.
Yeah.
And look at Santos, right? Santos got to be congressman. Now he just started today his 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got
You
railroaded too, by the way.
Um, go ahead. Anyway.
I was
I mean,
gonna say like,
first time offense. No, sorry.
no, it's
Well,
okay.
yeah, but that's also too, he got railroaded, but at the same time, it's like they don't want you fucking with the system because there's so much
Right.
money involved in politics that um, you could really, really fuck with it. Like, it really um,
You should
but
listen to that Tucker interview he had. It was insightful.
yeah,
It's
this
just
is
tough because that guy's lied so much. I don't even know what I would believe in an interview. So it'd
Yeah.
be kind of hard. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah. Frankly, I thought there have been many worse people in Congress than
There still
uh,
are right now. There's
Yeah.
worse.
George
Yeah.
Santos.
And that's why I liked it, because he was just basically, he was like, "Fuck it, they screwed me. I'm gonna tell all the dirt." That's what he was doing. That's why I liked
Yeah.
it.
So Alex Stein is behind the Joey C nonsense, right? I think so, Ozzy. Um, but we don't know that, right?
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
That
know.
guy's a
Yeah.
joke too, Alex Stein.
um, I don't believe that this is correct. As we saw with the Donald,
Yeah.
who is a convicted felon and ran for president.
So
Um,
this is
go
what's
ahead.
funny. I was just gonna say, Joey. He saw some like I kept tweeting about him and this and that, and then he found the one negative tweet I did where I was like, "All right, dude, you're not gonna, whatever." This unfortunately that I was trying to help you with something, but it might get released. And he's been DMing me, and well, half him, half uh AI, because I can always tell when Joey writes it and when AI writes it. But he thinks he's such a guilty conscience. He thinks I just dug up something from his past, and I'm like, Joey, I didn't dig through any. He's like, I done this, I done that. I can still like watch yourself, Nick. I'm like, dude, I'm not digging through your past. I don't care. Like everyone know you've told everybody. Like what am I gonna fucking say? You know what I mean? It's just Joey, you're fucking around with the government now, and then you're not. It's very complicated to fucking run for president. Why didn't you run for fucking mayor or something? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
fucking city council. You're running for
He,
president. There's so many. Like I ran for. Sorry, I didn't. I started to run for office once and stopped. So I fucking know how fucking high. Like I literally hooked up with people because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So hook up with the people that know what they're doing. He seems like he's just trying to do this by googling shit and AI and fucking doing it. And
of course.
he's missing stuff, obviously.
Yeah. It like
Right.
it's just a
Yeah.
bit he's doing. He thinks he's gonna fucking get some viralness out of it.
Yeah.
Right, but it's a bit that could land you in jail. That's
Yeah.
my
Right.
I don't think he has a problem with that.
I don't think he wants to go back. I don't know anybody that really wants to go back to jail unless he's trying to get away from everybody. But
I've
it's
only
also
talked to Joey once. It was on Pat Dixon's show, and I think I annoyed Pat because I just kept saying Joey was a bad parent because his kid stabbed him.
uh,
He didn't
that was
like it.
hey, look, one of the things that came across in the interview we did with Adam Bush is, you know, I'm a meth head, but I'm a great parent, and there's no evidence of that, right? Your kid stabbed you. Your other kids they've all had problems. you know, he had to go pay the bail on one, go get his kid out of jail. I mean, it it's like, I don't know, Joey. I just
He's prone to violence as well.
yeah, and I don't even know how much of that is real. But what this is coming from me, this might be weird, but it's like he's a white guy that's had every opportunity in the world to be successful, and he's just fucked it up. And over and over and over again, just by trying to scam. And it's like, if you'd spent half as much energy just doing the right thing, you'd be 10 times better off than you are today.
And then
But
he blames somebody else for his fuck ups when it's obviously his fuck ups.
well, it's always somebody. Yeah, with him, it's always somebody else's
Yeah.
fault. You know, so
Or like he did to Nick. He's like, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna go after you. I'll get you, buddy." Like that's
Well,
he thinks he's a mobster from Chicago.
What's funny is
yeah,
I'm very nice to like I think I'm pretty fair to Joey. Like there's a reason, or a couple reasons, but there's a reason I'm on the Pineapples channel, but I am never on the Joey C stuff because I won't say the stuff they say. I won't even say anything bad about Joey's wife, who's clearly involved in the Dabbleverse and goes after people. I don't do that stuff. So I've been fairer to Joey than fucking almost anyone, and I'm like, Joey, even now, I'm not trying because I know this is a goof, so I'm not gonna try and do something to get
Right.
Joey in fucking trouble. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like really in trouble. I'm just gonna point out, dude, you legally can't be doing something that you're fucking doing right now, and because it's fucking going right over his head. But he's so stuck in his old ways. Like I said, all his threats are like he thinks I dug through his past and found something that he hasn't already told everybody. It's like, all right, Joey, relax. And if you're running for president, you shouldn't be threatening people on DMs. It doesn't look fucking very good.
yeah. Well, you know, look, he's not a genius,
Yeah.
right? We've you know, we've established that over and over. All right, listen, guys, we're at 3 hours. Hang out. Let me just end the broadcast because this is going to be a bitch for me to deal with later on. So I'm going to have to cut it up and stuff,
Sweet.
and I don't know how to really do that. So just hang on. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I can't believe we went 3.5 hours, but it's Saturday night, so anything possible can happen, and we're glad you're here. We will, what do you call it? We will close with Mr. Aussie. When I was heavy into drugs, I found myself at home of one of Western Australia's drug kingpins. Even to this day, I will not say his name. Yeah, and we won't either. But
Crikey.
I got story. You know, my cousin, my wife's cousin, was a like counterterrorist guy and drug guy in uh, the New South Wales police, and the stuff that you hear from these guys is like it blows you away, and it blows you away how people can live. And yeah, let's keep it done. Cigarette Jones, uh, I salute you. He has modded this for 3.5 hours, and I really feel like we've kept him from going and enjoying his Saturday night. So, but thank you very much, and we will. What do you call it? We will talk to you soon. We're back Tuesday at 8, and you boys don't hang up on me. And but I'm gonna say goodnight to the loyal YouTube followers. Hit the like button, and if you can, accost your friends, family, and children to sign up, subscribe, and comment. And here's the story. Aussie, truth, I have over 10 years of sobriety and hold secrets that are fucked up. Yeah, I would say the same thing, but I won't, because then people will start fucking digging trying to find out what they are. But I was once a real piece of shit too. And so that may be why I have such a lack of sympathy for Joey. All right.